Hey everybody, this is Headbanger Mosh, and you're watching the history of WWF JAKKS 1996 through 1997. You know, the simply tremendous collection.
It's the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Time to start the show. Talking things and collectibles. Here we are, let's go. Controller fight and everything. Their minimum profit's what to say. On mark, it's ready to the show. It's time to talk, let's go.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special edition of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. We are discussing JAKKS 1996 and 1997. I am your host, always ready, the Internet Champion, the Deathmatch King, the Indie God, Matt Cardona.
And I'm your host, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, and I'm ready for some bone-crunching action.
I was happy you said that. I'm also your producer of the show, Smart Mark Sterling Esquire, the most famous professional wrestling lawyer. But this show is brought to you by our good friends, Ringside Collectibles. Use code MAJOR to save 10%. Excited to jump into this.
Guys,
Wow.
I'm giddy. I'm giddy like a child. And I'm thinking about, and it's because I'm surrounded by all these figures that I love and mean
I was
so
about
much
to say,
to me.
same thing. My room is covered with
childhood
bone crunchers.
Memories are flooding back to me for the past 48 hours as we prepared for this. I just feel great. And it's literally the essence of what we do. This entire podcast, this entire business, it's like these irreplaceable, sentimental childhood feelings that if you're a collector, it doesn't need to be explained to you. You know exactly what I'm talking about, like how it feels, to be rushed back to that time period in your life. And man, we're going deep down that rabbit hole today.
Yeah, 1997 was my favorite playing years. My favorite playing years with figures. My Fig Fed was the most professional it ever was in 1997. We'll discuss the Fig Feds, but we're here to talk about JAKKS specific. Mark, you were like in college when these came out, right?
Yeah, what was it like?
That's not true. 7th and 8th grade? But if the Hasbros, we've done the entire history of the Hasbros, WWF Hasbros figures. That's the basis. That's the beginning, right? This is the continuation. This is the maturity.
We also have the history of the LGNs right here on this very channel that you could check out if you enjoy this video.
We have
Exactly. That's like the
Wrestling
baby.
Buddies. We have the Bendums, which these are after the Bendums. The Bendums filled that gap between Hasbro and JAKKS, but they weren't quite the same. Listen, we have a toy company called Major Bendies. We love them, but they weren't quite wrestling figures. You couldn't quite have a Fig Fed with a Just Toys Bendum. So when these JAKKS specific Bone Crunching Action Superstars came out, my world was rocked and changed forever.
Definitely.
So we got to talk about people's first memories of these figures and first, realization that there was a new toy company making a WWF product. So, do you want me to go first? I
Sure.
can, like it was yesterday.
Well, do we
Yes.
want to give a little history lesson of what was going on behind the scenes that we didn't know about?
We can lay the groundwork for people, but this is all hindsight information. It's not like we knew this at age 11.
Of course
but yes.
not. But Jack Friedman, Jack Friedman is the J in LJN. He and Stephen Berman founded JAKKS Pacific in 1995. And early 1995 is when they got the license to WWF Wrestling. But like you said, Brian, I had no idea this was going on.
It was
I
actually
didn't even have the internet yet.
Late 95. Yeah. So it's funny that you said that because that's how I discovered these because, he still works for Verizon. My dad's worked for Verizon for 40 years or whatever, as long as, I've been, known the man. And, there would be certain times where it was like, bring your kid to work day type things. And I would go with him. And then at his office, they had this mysterious thing called the internet. And like me and my brother would get so excited to like go with him for a day at work. And then it's your dad, it's your hero, whatever, it's a great thing to do. But like to use the internet, I remember we would use web crawler and I would just look up, anything obviously wrestling because I'm obsessed. And then one day, I'll never forget it. It was that summer of 96 or maybe spring of 96. I was at his office and I found pictures of Series 1. And I'm just like, I couldn't contain myself. I'm like, what are these? Like, what is finally? Like, because like we mentioned earlier, there was such a gap between Hasbro's and Bendums were slightly filling the void, but not really. It was so exciting. And then this anticipation was growing for me. Like, how do I get these things? And I made my dad print out like black and whites that day. Like, and I came home with them like, I know these WWF figures are coming out, and I was so excited.
Yeah, I didn't have the internet. I went to a comic book store in my house, LNS Comics, and they had some sort of like printout advertisement of it in black and white. But at the time, I had no idea these were going to be, 5-6 inches. I thought they were the same size as the Hasbros, because why wouldn't they be? You know, that the Just Toys Bendhams were. So
I mean, that's another crazy thing. Like, not now because I'm a grown up and my hands are ginormous.
right.
When I was a child, this felt like the biggest figure in the world. When I got, I was like, "Oh my god, what am I going to do with this giant Razor Ramon? This is awesome!" And he moves. It was like a completely different world. You know, it was very exciting.
So Jakks starts in early 1995. They get the license at the end of 1995, and then at that Toy Fair in '96, which we don't even know what Toy Fair is. We're kids.
Not a clue.
I'm in 6th grade. I'm not going to Ringside Collectibles, the Wrestling Community Special Board, listening to the Major Wrestling podcast, hearing about what's going on at Toy Fair.
What a life!
You know, if you're a businessman, if you're in the toy industry, you knew these were coming out. Other than that, there was no way to really know.
Right.
So when did you obtain Series 1?
Summer 1996.
Same.
I'll never forget. My dad, he came back from Toys R Us with that Shawn Michaels. This was the time where, like, you know, credit cards were around. You couldn't just put things on your card. You know, you'd use your credit card so loosely. You know what I'm saying? So he only had enough cash for the HBK. He hid the other figures. He went back and got me. We found the figures and we bought them all.
Wow. So my mom went to visit her. I must have got them super early now that we know more about toys now. Because she went to visit her best friend in California. So I'm assuming she's got them before like they even came to the East Coast.
Really?
And she called me
Okay.
and said, I found them, and she brought them home for me, and I was like out of my mind, losing it.
So Broski, you didn't. Brian knew that they were coming in advance. You didn't. You saw them in the store.
I did know they were
Because
coming.
you saw something at LNS.
I saw an advertisement at LNS, but like I didn't have internet, you know? Sometimes I go to my friend's house and use like AOL or the Nickelodeon like chat room, you know what I'm saying, or WWF Online, but I didn't go on these wrestling
crawlers.
figure. Yeah, I didn't know what that was yet. And
Right.
believe it or not, the person who broke the news that Jakks were coming out was John from Ringside Collectibles in what's the date on that, Mark? Can you read that?
12/9/95.
How does he know this information?
Well, he's going to buy them, right?
Which is
to sell
well,
them.
that I really have to pick his brain about this because I'm so curious what he was doing to get information because John himself couldn't have been that old,
Right.
you know?
He's only a few years older than us.
Yeah, like barely. So I don't even understand what lengths he was going to get information on WWF action figures. But he clearly knew what was going on because he describes these exactly how they are. That they'd be more realistic, not like Bendham's or Stretchums, and that they'd be similar to like a DC comic book and Batman style 6-inch figure.
John 360. If you read it just like him, new action figures are coming out
That's
soon.
exactly how he said it. and the deal that Jack signed with WWF was a 10-year deal that was only struck in October of '95. So that had just happened.
And I don't know if I mentioned this before, that the Jack Friedman is the J in LJN. So he had done stuff with WWF before. And if you look at that date, 1995, it explains why, you know, Razor and Diesel are
of
in
course.
this set, because when they come out, they're in the NWO.
Which made it all that much more exciting too, right? Because they're
Right.
like the hottest pro wrestlers in the world.
So
Got
let's
to
take.
get
I think we should take a
figures.
look at the photos that were shown at the Toy Fair, the mint on card photos of the set. You know, you see here, you got Razor Ramon, Diesel, Goldust, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Now that's what was shown at the Toy Fair, I believe, or in different like advertisements. Brian, this might have been what you saw online.
Right.
these
I want
photos.
to say that's exactly what I saw, and I have to say this packaging stands the test of time.
It absolutely does.
And the insert, which I don't know if you guys are understanding, like what I mean by that. That's the actual photo of the talent that's stuck in between the blister and the bubble. Like game changing. Like just to me, like I was like awestruck by it. You know, and
Just
like I said,
pops.
it pops. It still stands the test of time. We basically stole it for our Big Rubber Guys for the
Absolutely.
presentation. And I don't know about you, Matt, but I was so obsessed with these and so obsessed about everything, I could never throw it out. I always saved them.
I did throw them out.
And I had a giant stack of them, like until there were no more bone crunchers. I had just a giant stack.
I would have bet my house that Matt threw them out, ripped them in half as fast
Let
as
them
he
breathe,
could.
baby.
I threw the rest of the packaging out, but I always kept that insert because I just thought, oh man, I thought it was so cool.
I recall the first images I saw were loose images of these figures, like the ones we're going to see right here. This is what I saw. Razor Ramon,
that might have been what
Goldust,
I saw first.
Undertaker, Shawn, and Bret. And we'll explain later, because I don't understand that the Goldust wig is going to come off. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I have no idea. So this
like
is,
I said, a whole new world. Or
Yeah,
the
so-
Undertaker's hat's not stuck on his head like a Hasbro. That's an accessory.
Right, in our world, right, there's no accessories.
Especially because you're looking at Razor, you're like, okay, that vest and those chains ain't going nowhere. Brett's got
Right.
hair over his sunglasses. Those shades ain't coming off.
Interesting.
yeah, I was, dare I say, devastated when I got these home and I realized, oh my God, these are like not in scale at all. With my Hasbro, I was like, I got to start a whole new fig fed.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. You guys talked about your beginning. I had the internet, first of all. I had the internet as early as possible.
Well, you were in college, you had to study.
Oh, yeah, what?
My mom got a computer when it was like the first people to get computers in their house, right? So then we had internet, dial-up, whatever, maybe 94? I don't know, very early.
God, wow. That's
But
early.
I still knew nothing about this. Steve Negron and I had our Hasbro Bendy Fig Fed, right? And when I did not know anything about these until I saw them in store, and in stores, I believe it was the Series 1, because I remember seeing Shawn Michaels, and I just thought to myself, this is way too big. And that was it for me for a couple
That's
years.
funny because like the big excited me. Like, whoa.
Yeah, but I'm like, well, that doesn't fit in our Fig Fed. What are you
Gotcha.
talking? How this doesn't help us
you
at
didn't
all?
want to start over.
No, not at all. It didn't make any sense to me.
It was tough to have a 6-man fig fed, but I did it.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
I did it.
I think I've said before I mixed in Karate Fighter guys because they're in the same
I did
scale.
as well.
Yeah, just to kind of expand and have.
So
some
these are the
jobbers.
loose figs, the loose pictures that you were talking about of each one.
This is from the Toy Fair?
That
Or
was a
where are we
toy
going
fair,
here?
hand painted ones.
Yeah.
That's the Shawn Michaels right there. And the, we're going right for Razor Ramon, huh, Mark?
Sorry.
Mark, you're going all over the place, Mark. We're live here.
I'm alive, baby.
So there's the Diesel, the Shawn. Those were from the Toy Fair, I believe. But yeah, let's do a little deep dive. Let's get right into the figures. Let's start with the bad guy, Razor Ramon, my personal favorite. He comes out. He's in the NWO. He is Scott Hall. And it's one important thing to point out about these figures, designed by Terry Latimer, who wanted the arms and legs to almost be like Barbie dolls, that joint. That joint
Yeah, we
like a
need to
Barbie doll.
discuss the actual bone crunching actionness of these figures. Yeah, so as a kid, I didn't really utilize it. I wasn't like,
No.
Razor's leg is broken. Listen to that. And I'm sure I can even get one if we all quiet down.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, I hear it.
HBK.
So it has like the skin is almost like true to life skin. There's structure underneath,
Like
but
a
it doesn't-
Barbie doll.
like
Yeah.
a Barbie, but it doesn't really get you any more playability. It's not like it changes the way the leg moves or.
Well, the
anything like
arm
that.
moves a little. You can move the arms in. You know what I'm
But
saying?
it's not like
you can.
drastic, like where it's like, oh wow, like it's like
I guess.
nothing. Yeah,
I liked it because it felt like, I don't know why, it felt like skin. Like it was more realistic to me,
and we also should have mentioned. So these are all the figures I have today are my legit childhood bone crunchers.
Not
never
mine,
been-
pal.
Oh my! These are all like got wear and like fig fed love to them, so I'll never replace them. But
But you have those like mint or no?
no, this is all
Wow, I'm
I
very.
will- I will
I am
say,
surprised.
I was going to save it for later in the show, but I think one of my biggest regrets is not getting Series 1 mint on card and signed like Broski did.
Yeah, one of the coolest things that
will
we've
say
ever
that.
talked about on the show.
We'll
Yeah,
talk
for
about
sure.
that in a bit. But let's start with the original sculpts here from Terry Latimer. Now, Terry, very, very talented. The sculpts kind of got lost in translation because they were re-sculpted in the factory and dumbed down a bit. So, the likeness isn't superb, but this was 1995.
Yeah, I can literally even see as I'm holding this razor, like the curl in his hair is more of a curl than what this final product was. Like on that one we just saw.
And look,
It's like less of a curl.
look who owns that prototype.
How'd
Hey,
you
yo.
get that out of your dog's butt?
No. What I do have also, which my dog did eat, but I got another one. Check this out: an alternate head Razor Ramon. Now, also check out the body here. This is all like concept, dumbed down. You know, there's
No
no,
knee
real.
pads?
Well, no, because there's no like boots or anything. They're just showing like how
what
it was
could be.
supposed to kind of look. You know, it's
Right.
just concept. But the head on Razor is different.
Wow, yeah, it's like a smile or whatever.
I can't tell if it's the mold or what, but it looks like maybe he has a toothpick in his mouth. I can't quite tell, but
I do like. I mean, the finished one has that kind of like his mouthing, like that he could have a toothpick.
yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I also have this. If it doesn't fall apart as I hold it, hand painted
Oh damn!
Razor
that's cool.
Ramon. I mean, he was my favorite at the time, and why I have all this Razor stuff now is because, you know, Brian, these are your original figures. These are not my original figures. There was a lot of quality control,
Oh my God.
lack thereof, a lack
Yeah.
thereof. And they were like Woody from Toy Story. The joints were all messed up. They would break. We'll talk about it later.
Look at this.
You would get guys with the wrong arms and legs, but painted correctly.
Right. So, it was hard to tell, and if you really like, well, also we're not emphasizing that Jakks is a startup little toy company at this time, right? They're not this powerhouse. They're just taking on this fairly big license and trying to make some money, which they do. But yeah, so there was definitely some growing pains, especially with these early on ones.
I have a couple error examples that I'll show later.
Okay.
But now,
but
Broski, I mean, one of my favorite stories is that you hated them.
I hated them, bro.
You returned them.
I returned them. I got rid of them. I quit the biz.
That's crazy.
So this famous
I
story of
burned
your
my
dad,
boots.
your dad buying it with your cash, you just got that cash back. Is that you just
No,
returned
he
them for
didn't,
the?
no, he didn't buy it with my cash. He used.
Right.
He had cash.
Yeah.
He bought Shawn Michaels. He went and got me at the rest. I played with them for a couple of days. They were breaking. I'm like, these suck. Like, fuck this.
Like, I'm scared holding this razor right now that it's gonna fall apart. Like,
I got rid
doesn't
of them.
feel that secure. I'll tell you that.
I got
As somebody
rid of
who
them,
worked
and
in
I quit the
retail, I
biz.
can't imagine a family coming in with these 2-day played with toys and just being like, we'd
If
like
you
to
said they
return
all
these.
broke, I mean, what are they gonna do?
I guess, yeah.
And I was tapped out. I said, you know what? I'm in 6th grade. I'm too old for this shit. You know, I don't need these, and they're junk. I don't need them, and I was out. I quit the biz.
Yeah.
But now, you know, and we'll explain later why, you know, these Razor and Diesel are so sentimental to me. But like, I love these figures. They're iconic to me. Superstars Series 1. It's iconic. What are your thoughts on this Razor Ramon? I love it. I love the chain. I love the gold necklace, the vest. I dig it. Now the decals.
I love it. He's
the
not my
details
favorite, but
kinda-
I do love it. Yeah.
yeah. I even love that he has the alternate color elbow pad painted. Like they did a pretty good job here for 1995, 1996.
Absolutely. Top guy in the biz, like Brian said too.
Yeah, probably the most relevant pro wrestler in the world at the time.
Right.
Up next, Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Big Daddy Cool is back. I love this figure. I love the detail. I love the tassels on the sides of the pants here. The one black glove kind of looks pretty good. I mean, this is Diesel.
He's a
It's Big
sexy
Daddy
man,
Cool.
dude. What do you? He looks great.
I mean, if you look at the original Terry Latimer sculpt, it's a little more detailed.
Actually, it's better. It looks more like Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Well, because
Obviously.
the factory messed up the nose on Diesel and Shawn Michaels when they resculpted. That's for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
But
We should also acknowledge the scale. Everyone's the exact same size.
honestly, I don't really necessarily mind that.
I
Never even noticed as a kid.
When I was a kid, it didn't bother me, but I mean, the fact that Diesel and Shawn are the same exact height is.
Even today, it doesn't quite bother me.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're like the Big Show or Rey Mysterio, they can all be the same size.
I
In my
don't
opinion.
know.
They're toys.
Kevin
Actually-
Nash is a tall son bitch, guys.
You're right. You're right. I mean, the biggest problem with the Jakks Classics is like that Paul Bearer was the same size, right? So
Right.
that's like,
that's 15 years later. Like,
I think Paul Bear's actually taller than most of the guys,
yeah, right.
which is
Yeah.
a problem.
But when we'll talk about it later, the managers and stuff are actually a little smaller and more petite, so it fits.
yeah.
Yes. So the Diesel and Razor, they're great figures, but at the time, like we said, they're fucking Hall and Nash running WCW in the NWO, but it's still cool to have them, and it makes sense. These were planned in 95
Yeah.
to Jakks. Maybe WWE didn't know that they were leaving. You know what I'm saying?
But if you put the money and investment into tooling and sculpting,
It's too late.
And not to mention, like you said, they're so relevant. Why would you cancel them? You know.
Plus, they were still on WWE TV. You know, fake Diesel, fake Razor. We still had the characters.
Technically, also true. I wonder what.
That Diesel actually looks more like fake Diesel.
I wonder how, or if the Big Kev and Razor royalties were paid out for these.
I'm sure they were, but who knows?
Right,
Back in the day, who knows? But these figures, they flew off the shelves. These weren't peg warmers by any means. People were dying for new figures. They wanted to scratch that figure itch before it was cool because, you know, the Hasbro's long gone. I say long gone. It was only like a year or two. It wasn't that long, but as a kid, it felt like eternity.
We've discussed so many times. The green cards weren't so known, so it felt longer than what it was.
Yeah, and this was like, okay, maybe we're gonna get going here. A new lineup, a new fig fit. So it was exciting times for sure. So also in the set was the bizarre Goldust.
It was a super exciting one for me because he was also so relevant. And you know, he didn't have a Hasbro. All these other guys in this whole set had a Hasbro. So it was pretty exciting.
His Bendy was not out yet, so this is his first figure, or
the
Bendy
might
might
be
have been
exact same time.
I'm not quite sure when
The
the
Bendy might have
Bendy came
superseded
out.
by a little bit.
But awesome figure. It's got
Look at the playware on this. Like this is my original one.
oh wow,
Look at, like, if you see if the leg went up, it would chip a little bit of the paint there because it gets stuck in his crotch.
I thought that one of the better likenesses in the whole line was this Goldust in the traditional, you know, like original kind of style look. The wig fits perfectly.
Yeah.
It's an incredible figure. I absolutely love it. And when we if we go back to that mint on card photo, I want people to take a look at the butterfly peg at the top. Just take note of that, which was such a pain in the butt, really. I don't know why any toys have butterfly pegs, because think about it. When you're at the toy store, if that's in the back, you got to take off every other figure
single
off
goddamn
the shelf.
figure, man.
So keep that in the back of your mind, because we will show later how they did switch the packaging. This has the bone crunching sound in like a silver. In the back of the packaging says bone crushing sound, but it is what it is. Yeah. So up next, what up, dude? The Phenom, The Undertaker.
Really awesome figure. I always loved that his hand was kind of like in the Shakespeare. Like if you
absolutely.
raise the right hand.
Well, I would say chokeslam hand, baby.
But well, that would be the left, I would say. But the right is more of like a Shakespeare.
Unbelievable figure.
Brian, I never noticed that. Holy shit! That never crossed my mind. Super cool.
Yeah.
He's got the removable hat, and what I loved about these figures, first time, which is kind of mind-boggling. Think about this: first time in WWF figure history, besides like the Hasbro, Earthquake, Typhoon, and Bam Bam, you can move the fucking legs.
You
can throw a kick.
Torso. I mean, this was like unbelievable. I mean, nowadays we live in the world of Supremes and Ultimates and stuff, but this in 1996. The amount of playability on this compared to previous wrestling figures. Look, LJN, articulation. Zero. Hasbro, maybe 2 or 3. Now you're going 5, 6. It's like life altering.
How fun was doing a super kick with Shawn Michaels?
Oh my God. Yeah.
We'll get to Shawn Michaels, but for the first time ever, you could do the super kick. The Undertaker likeness by Terry Latimer. Pretty damn good here. Look at that sculpt. Looks incredible. Terry's a great guy. I still talk to Terry every now and then through email. What a pioneer in not just the wrestling figure business, but the toy business as well. And I think the likeness of this Undertaker is pretty damn good. You know, it's a good likeness of the Undertaker.
I think it stands the test of time.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I think we got to mention next, he's in the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Hall of Fame. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Man. I'm the greatest thing going. Check this out. Mark, like you said, he can finally do the super kick.
The super kick is so good. Yes, it's so good.
Bro, I wish you could see my arms right now. I have goosebumps right now. Throwing a super kick with all HBK. I love this figure. I know they're going for that trademark kissy face.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
The original sculpt from Terry Latimer is way better.
It's still awesome.
They kind of fattened the nose in the factory when they remolded it. I love the Shawn. He's all ripped up.
The rib cage.
The rib cage
has always been something that I always stare at. Like,
he's in a SummerSlam 95-ish gear.
I love that gear. So when this was what it was depicted in Series 1, made me even more excited, like to know that it was that.
Yep.
And, obviously this is Series 1, so everyone has unique parts. I don't think there's any reused parts on Series 1, unless I'm mistaken.
There is not.
Unless you get a razor with a gold dust
I used to
legs.
think Brett
or whatever.
and Razor's right arm was the same, but I don't think it is.
Well, I'll show you an example of one in a second.
Yeah.
Because I got a bunch of errors here.
Yeah, I don't even think that's the same.
Well, speaking of Bret, the Hitman Bret Hart, it's crazy that a figure that was really, came out in 1996, Bret Hart, has more accuracy than a Mattel Bret the Hitman Hart that comes out in 2023. Look at this. They have
the likeness is
the
awesome.
likeness is way better. He's got the correct color shades, the correct shape of the shades, and he's got the hair just the just going over the front of it.
Just the coolest dude.
It's just such a great figure. He's
Also, doing a clothesline with these was great. You could bend the legs so you can put their foot in for a sharpshooter. Yeah.
Oh God! I mean, these are my absolute favorite figures. Everyone loves the Hasbros, and I do too. But these are my absolute favorites, especially 1996, 1997.
I was thinking about it. It's like, at least for our age, right? When we play with Hasbros, you're just kind of like, you're a little kid. It's like, I remember putting Hasbros in a ring and just shaking it up like this, and whoever didn't fall out last won a Royal Rumble, right? These, I was like calculating, like this was a true first time ever, like a fig fed, where I was like building to things and great storylines, and like it was true play, right? Like calculated play.
Well,
So I think that's what makes it even more, or a different kind of sentimental.
Well, once we into 1997 and I started buying them back, but I agree. Like my Fig Fed, it's very professional. I finally get a computer. I finally get the internet. I can keep records of my cards, my title history. I can download the music. I was very, very professional with my my Fig Fed, which I call the new WWF.
The new
WWF. And the reason why the roster was so slim, because it was the elite of the WWF. They would go to the new WWF. They would do both. They would do both.
Wow,
And
double duty.
And those pay-per-views would be on a Saturday before the WWF pay-per-view, which was Sunday, because they're already in town. So they're already in town, so they were able to do
thorough. Wow.
Yeah, I had to make sense of it all. And of course, Danny from Last Action Hero played myself, Matt Cardona, as the president. So, because that's how I looked in 1996.
In scale. He's tiny.
Talk about scale.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the packaging switch. They switched to the J hook.
Much needed.
The bone crunching sound really, really pops there. And I got an example right here. Check this out. Razor Ramon signed. That's
awesome.
right. I have this entire set signed. The bad guy, Razor Ramon. I have them all in this yellow paint pen. And I know what you're thinking.
You have defenders for those, pal?
I do, actually. You'll
Okay.
see. Yeah, I do. I know you're thinking, why did I use the second packaging and not the first? To me, this really pops with the yellow.
Yeah, but
bone
to
crunching
me,
sound.
that's the real packaging anyway. I think the butterfly, I mean, obviously the butterfly came first, but it's meant to be in that, right? The J
It's a
hook.
correction.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Is this when they fixed the Woody stuff?
No,
When they switched
not even
packaging?
close.
that's
the figure,
not
the
until-
quality of the figures are still the same.
Okay.
who will survive the greatest Federation superstars in the world? The thrills and excitement of professional wrestling come to life with these remarkably detailed, ultra-realistic World Wrestling Federation action figures. You can almost hear the crowd roar as your favorite superstar wrestlers slam each other with unique bone-crushing sound effects from invisible joints. That's a trademark, invisible joints.
Wow.
Create your own Royal Rumble to crown the next World Wrestling Federation King of the Ring. And this is also important. It tells you do not move knee or elbow like this. The correct way to do the bone crunching actions. Features activate when elbow or knee is moved like this. So
you
don't
can
go side to side.
You can rip it through. You ever seen a broken one? You can rip it through the skin.
I have not.
You've never seen that? Yeah. You can.
That's crazy.
If you jack it up, you can rip it right through.
You'd have to be very, very violent to ruin that
I
thing.
think it's easier than you think.
Man, I'm looking at this razor. This is a 1996 toy right here. Just
Right.
colorful. Everything
Just feels
pops.
great. Yeah.
It feels fantastic.
I'm telling you, that packaging, the test of time. It's friggin' perfect.
Specifically,
about
yeah,
this?
the changed packaging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Pretty much, like I said, same exact figure. Here's my signed version of Diesel. Of course, I'm going to show these all off. I'm going to show them all off right here because I'm proud of this. This is like my favorite. One of my favorite things in my collection is this signed Series 1. Let's take a look at the Gold Dust, who is, again, the same figure. But look at this beautiful autograph I got here. My good friend Smart Mark Sterling picked this up for me. You went to AEW, huh?
One of the most nerve-wracking things I ever did in the beginning of my time in AEW. I had never spoken to him in my entire life, and I was like, Matt, I will do this if you text him and tell him that the gray-haired man that manages Jade Gargill is going to ask you for an autograph or whatever. And it ended up being phenomenal, and Ethan Page saw how nervous I was, and he recorded it for one of his vlogs. So it's on there in the past.
Nothing beats a nervous Mark Sterling.
It's a beautiful, beautiful figure. And then, of course, we have The Undertaker. What up, dude? Again, these are the same figures. We just want to show off the different carding.
How did you get signed, that, by the way?
When he did the event?
No, it's a mail-in.
Oh.
A mail-in sig. So I got them all 6 of them signed.
Pretty awesome.
And how did you get Shawn Michaels?
When you redo your room, you got to hang those up, right?
Yeah, here's my Shawn Michaels in a nice protective case. Nice.
Dude, that looks so
acrylic.
good, man.
God.
I have the extra acrylics. I got to put them in here. But this Shawn Michaels with the big penis. Guys, if you don't know by now, Shawn Michaels draws a dick and balls on his autograph. If you don't believe me, just check it out. Dick and balls right there from the Heartbreak Kid. Right?
That's not even a good one.
Sometimes they're even crazier.
Yeah.
I'm the greatest thing going. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. And then, of course, the best there is. The best there was. And the best there ever
Look at that one.
will
That
be.
Brett head is looking the other way.
This
on
Hitman, beautiful signature right here.
Yeah, look, that Brett head, but that's glued on. The head doesn't turn.
I mean, mine's kind of a little
that's
cockeyed
stuck,
as well.
That's stuck the wrong way then, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I have a couple just examples of errors. These aren't variants by any means. There were just so many errors. So, for instance, here is a Razor Ramon with Bret Hart arm. See that with the wrist tape?
Both arms.
Yeah, both arms are Bret Hart,
Yeah.
if you can see there. So that's just one of the many errors. Another error we have here is, this is a funny one, Gold Dust with Undertaker arms. Can you see that?
Oh, my
looks
God.
cool.
So he has the gloves, but he
Oh,
has
no, but the
sleeve.
shoulders is what ruins it, huh? Because
Yeah,
he's got
he
the
has the
sleeves.
shoulder sleeves.
Oh, man.
And then another example. What's this example here? This is like a weird, like Gold Dust where like the silver and gold paint just isn't like where you can't, it's like it's just not a good paint job. But that's just, that's just
Yeah,
how
that
these
is
were.
it.
The quality control wasn't the best. Like the gold and silver kind of got blended together so you can't tell like what the glove is and what the arm thing is.
Right.
And that's what these figures were. They were
Yeah.
the best.
They were not high quality, no.
Also on the back of this package, we saw the microphone, which was super cool in my opinion. I love this thing. I actually have one right here, the ringside microphone, featuring the actual voices of the World Wrestling Federation superstars. Not quite, but
I learned that a couple days ago. I always thought it was the real voices.
oh, give me a break! Come on.
Because I play with that thing so much. Like when
It
I'm
was cool.
pretending
I
to be a
played
wrestler
with
in
it.
my basement.
Yeah, I used it for
Take
back.
a look at the back guy.
Yeah, Big Daddy
I'm the
Cool
greatest.
is back.
I'm the greatest thing on God's green earth.
Unfortunately, my buttons don't work anymore, but this is it right here.
of
Gold Dust.
Did you use that in your backyard fed?
Yeah,
Or-
of course.
or- This-
of course.
Imagine as a kid.
It's got the
finally
fake
having a
little
microphone.
cord. The fake little cord
fake
is
little
ridiculous.
cord.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, what the?
Yeah, it looks like the tail on that possum that was in my garage.
But what a cool accessory! I thought.
Yeah, it actually looks great.
It's really really cool.
It's really cool. And it pops.
I think you kind of have to maybe display that with your Series 1.
I absolutely have them on display.
Yeah.
It's an iconic.
I think
piece.
I think I need to repurchase that. I don't have that anymore. I think I
Oh,
need to.
and to get it mint in this original package is pretty tough.
And even with batteries, like that's not going to work.
No. Oh, maybe it would. This is look at it, KB $9.99.
It's awesome.
Sometimes that old stuff works as long as there wasn't batteries in it, right? So
Right,
if they,
'cause
if
the
they
batteries would have,
packaged,
like blown up
Yeah.
or oxidized or whatever that is.
yeah, and then ruined it. Yep, exactly.
So the lineup for Series 2 was actually shown really before any of us got Series 1. It was online. Just saw the new assortment listing for Series 2 of Jack's WWF Wrestling figures. Shawn Michaels repaint, Bret Hart repaint, The Undertaker, Owen Hart, Vader, and The Ultimate Warrior. So when did you know about Series 2, Brian?
I don't really remember when I found out about it, but I got them for Christmas that year.
Okay.
For sure.
So
I don't have an exact like vivid memory of getting them, like, or them being in my radar, but it might have been something. My mom was big on like getting something. Maybe she got it like in November, but made me wait till Christmas to, that kind of thing,
right.
to actually have them in my hands.
Like I said, sold my figures, got rid of them, quit the biz, and I went to Survivor Series 1996 in Madison Square Garden, and at the souvenir stand, they were selling Brett and Shawn. They might have been selling other ones, but those are the ones I for sure saw. I'm like, that's weird. Brett, different color. Shawn, different color. I'm like, that's pretty cool, I guess. Like, I didn't know anything. I didn't think anything of it. And on the train ride home, there was a kid on the train who had one. I said, hey, can I look at that? And on the back, I saw they made Ultimate Warrior, Vader, Owen Hart. I said, holy shit, I'm back in.
Well, now you have a whole
It's
fed, right?
crazy because Warrior's long gone again.
I'm back in.
Same as Razor and Diesel. Warrior's already gone.
So I asked my parents for all Series 1 and 2 for Christmas, and that's when I got, Series 2, which, let's start off with the King of Hearts, Owen Hart. I absolutely love this figure. What I thought was interesting, they go back to the bone crunching sound in the silver, but keep the J hook.
Yeah.
So they go back to that old original bone crunching sound on the top instead of the red and yellow. They go back to the J hook. Owen Hart, King of Hearts, first time getting a King of Hearts figure. To me, this is an iconic figure.
And
great.
just to get him, man, think about how many years he'd looked like this, but all we had was the Rocket Hasbro.
Right?
Yeah. So it's a big payoff here.
And a big deal to get Owen Hart.
This was a top guy in my Fed.
It's
for
a
years.
great figure.
Yeah.
The details on the boots, the King of Hearts on the side. Listen, the likeness is not the best, but it's 1996, guys. It's 1996.
It has a cute likeness to it, though. Like, you know who it is. Like, for sure.
It's kind of similar to all of them, really.
Yeah.
The whole series.
They all have that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But like Brian said, we never got a heel Owen Hart figure. There were rumors that, it was going to come out in the Hasbro days, and yeah, he should have gotten one. But this is the first time we have a King of Hearts, Owen Hart. I absolutely love this figure. It's maybe my favorite figure from Series 2. Maybe.
Wow.
But actually, I don't know, because the next figure we're going to talk about is the Ultimate Warrior.
So toyetic. The tan on this
Tan is so great.
The tan on this thing is insane.
Every time a toy company asks me what I want for a tan, I should say, look at Superstar Series 2 Ultimate Warrior.
Dude, the tassels, the shoot soft good tassels, mind blowing.
Yep.
And I still don't know to this day how they do it, where it just comes out seamlessly.
Yeah. So awesome.
So kind of ahead of its time, because, when it's wrapped around the arm, it's molded, but then it's, soft good. It's great.
Yeah.
It's
perfect.
I wish kind of Mattel would do something like this.
Yeah, actually, it's better than we just looked at that Bulldog this week. It's better than that.
Yeah. Or at least it makes more sense than that.
I don't know why he has face paint in the hair.
No, I think that's the roots of his dye job.
No, I don't think so.
That's what I always thought. That's like the root of his hair.
Maybe, I guess, but they're not doing other hair colors for other people. Multicolor hair.
Maybe that was just their way of doing his.
And then
That's what I've always thought that was.
And I don't know if you want to count this as a variant or an error, but there's also an Ultimate Warrior. Show your butt, Brian. Not your real butt, your Ultimate Warrior butt.
I'll show you my butt, babe.
A plain white logo on the back.
That's clearly a mess up to me. I don't really count
I
that.
have it because this is my childhood one, so it's I might as well keep it and get instead, because it would be hard to get one mint on card. I guess you could if you were looked at the right angle, could see the butt.
Gonna be a lot of work.
Be a lot of work. What about?
Well,
it's
before you
top-
move on
oh,
from
oh,
Undertaker,
okay.
for Ultimate Warrior, I will say this Ultimate Warrior figure is what made me sort of realize the complicating nature of booking, right? So like when I got into this and I had the Ultimate Warrior, you're looking at this figure, this is the best figure of all time.
Oh my god!
But how do you book it, right? It was so challenging to me getting older, booking this thing by myself. It's like he either beats everybody, and then you can't really beat him, and then
Or he
like what
doesn't
really
even show up.
happened? And then he doesn't show up in your thing. It was a very challenging thing, and that's when I realized, man, it's hard to book the Ultimate Warrior. But little aside, what's next here? We
Well,
got.
let's just talk about the Warrior. Warrior
Oh,
back
yeah.
for a second.
Yeah.
You know, like Razor and Diesel, this comes out. Warrior's gone.
yeah.
He's gone.
That's what I said. But he's
Top
so
guy.
so iconic that it like you're losing your mind to get him.
Yes, and
especially,
the
like,
figure is awesome.
We touched on the figure so toyetic and sick. I mean, not a problem. A good problem to have.
Yep.
Next up, Vader. Now, I always thought that the joints were a little tighter on Series 2. Not like drastically, but they
dude.
were tighter.
Dude, I have my childhood Vader right here. It's unreal. Loose. you can
Loose?
see.
Well, you were playing with it like this.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know?
this thing's been played with for years. That
The
doesn't
Vader-
look like a. Does he have no peg?
Bro, you're testing me? Come on,
I'm
dude.
making sure. That looks. I thought the red looked a little too bright.
Come on, don't test me. I'm not. I'm insulted.
You sure that's not a Sean two-pack Vader?
I'm fucking positive, bro. I know what I'm doing here. So, I, at the time, loved it. Looking back now, not the best.
I think it's
Not
great.
enough.
I never had a problem with this figure. I know
It's the waistline's a
as-
little thin, but who cares?
the waist is a little too thin, but he's got the fat quads. He's got the big traps.
Yeah, and
So
his
the cool-
chest
the
is
cool-
like wider.
menacing.
It's certainly more unique. His head is round. It's way more unique than the other
Yeah.
ones. So,
But
I
I do understand the criticism this figure's got as time has gone on. But like
Yeah.
this isn't Vader's body and not big enough,
I don't think I really hated it until they used his body for D'Lo Brown years later.
and it makes a great D'Lo.
Yeah, it makes a great D'Lo.
Yeah, so it's like, damn, D'Lo is not the size of Vader.
Awesome figure, top guy. His WCW San Francisco toy maker was just so good. Where this one was
Yeah.
like,
It's still
eh.
at the time Vader's, a pretty important talent in WWE TV. So and like I said, you added 3 more talents to your fig fed.
Right. So what I liked about this is like his neck is kind of connected to his head. So I was able to make a lot of Hasbro Vader customs because I would take this head and pop it on like an Earthquake or Typhoon and be able to make some Vader customs.
Gotcha. Yeah, another
Because-
weird one that we didn't talk about. Goldust is like not connected the normal way like all the other ones too.
No, it's got like a little
Can't even explain it. It's not a peg. It's like a balloon knot that's like stuck in it. It's like it's so
a little
weird.
squishy head.
Yeah.
What about up next? The Undertaker. Glow in
Which-
the dark.
The least exciting of the set, but I don't know about you, I think this should be unanimous across the board here. This was your entrance, Undertaker. You
Of
turned
course.
out the lights. Yeah. You turn out the lights in your bedroom. This guy's coming down, skin glowing.
Cool
this was my
concept.
only Undertaker. The only one I ever got.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a cool concept because like unless you know it's like glow in the dark, like it kind of looks like a regular Undertaker.
The
but it
packaging
kind,
says it all over, right?
I know, but I'm just saying if you had it, it looks like a pale Undertaker. You know what I'm saying?
Glow in the dark right there.
Flesh.
In the middle, yeah.
The flesh glows in the dark.
I think it's a cool way to change it up. I mean, because look, there's no tattoos on anybody yet, which didn't bother me at all.
Same. I don't even remember even thinking about it.
That could have been the only way to make this a little different is like change up the tats. But I get if they're already doing some cost cutting here. They're already doing cost cutting with 3 repaints in the second set. But I got them all. You have
Yeah,
to
same.
get them all.
And I was excited for all of them.
Speaking of repaints, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. This was a great repaint in my opinion.
So good.
Well, this was my Sean, and I feel like at this time the red pants are a little bit more like, I don't know, standoutish to me.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's known for is like the
Exactly,
red
yeah.
and the,
The
heart.
red was more of a staple.
Yeah,
Also, the
blue
gloves
is
never
great.
really make sense. Like, even in Series 1, he didn't wear gloves like that. They're longer and different looking, but
Well, no,
Never really bothered me.
Sean had these gloves. They sold them.
But he had like at this time he was working with like the different kind of.
Oh, right. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. Cool figure. I love the earring. I just love everything about this figure. I love he could do the super coat, as we mentioned. Later on, they do add the tattoo to the Sean. But like, how much cooler would it have been if he got that little tat on the side?
Yeah, but I don't know. For some reason, when I was a kid, it didn't bother me.
No, it didn't bother me at all. I just love, man, that super kick, bro.
Yep.
Just game changer.
Yes.
Absolute game changer. All right, up next, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Definitely the best repaint in the set.
I think this is a nice, Brett. They reverse the colors, so it has the black tights, the pink singlet top. I absolutely love it.
It just pops so much to me. It's so.
I mean, at this time, where's everybody? Let's think about where everyone is when this set comes out. I mean, Brett is feuding with Austin.
He just came off the Survivor Series match
Yeah.
with Austin.
Sean had just lost the belt to Sid, so his top guy.
Yeah, he slipped on Mary Kate's tears going up the aisle.
Now, Vader is kind of Vader's kind of, he's there.
Yeah,
You know?
he's coming off the bad feud with Sean.
So he's like on his.
Was it bad? It wasn't bad to us though.
Was not bad to me as a kid, no, but
Yeah, no, that was
he's
great.
He's on his way down the card. Warrior is gone. Okay. Undertaker doesn't look like this anymore.
no, true.
And did Owen cut his hair yet?
I think he might have cut his hair, and he's tagging with Bulldog. So
I remember with my Owen, because it was so easy, you could just cut the hair, and I cut the hair to make it short.
good
No
God.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just lift it up. Yeah,
You lift it up, and it's like that soft rubber. You can just cut it and
Yeah,
follow
you like
the line of the head. It was easy.
Damn.
It was so easy.
Very easy to do.
But that's what happens in the toy biz. Things are a little out of date. Let's take a look at the back of the box there.
It's hard to keep up. We know that.
Man, that Warrior would have been so much better with that. Just look at that hand painted prototype. It just the lighter hair, the more detail on the gear. I still like what we got.
Still pretty awesome.
It's still pretty awesome, but it's not quite what it could have been.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, you can't have figures, you can't have a fig fed without a ring. And boy, did we get a ring with the monster ring. Now,
Where do we begin with this?
why do they call it the monster ring? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Jack, who also worked for LJN, used the LJN ring.
So,
Insane.
Figures that were almost double the size.
$17.97 on the price on this, by the way.
That's also nuts too, by the way, right? So
Yep.
oddly,
I
I'm so
loved it.
excited. I know I'm so excited about just everything about this line, and my fandom is at such a. I didn't mind that the ring was ginormous. I was just excited to have a ring.
It never even crossed my mind. And I know it's insane to think you put the guy next to the rope and it's big, like up to his head.
Right at his head.
For some reason, I had never been in a ring. I just literally didn't cross my mind.
Like I said, I'm 11. Playing and
I'm 32,
appreciate-
and you did
I appreciate the fact that they called it the monster ring. So I was like, yeah.
I guess that's the excuse, right?
Right.
It's like, well, I got the monster ring. It's not a regular ring. It's a monster ring. So
Right.
So of course it's massive.
And the back of the box is what really captivates me. So I get this Christmas
Little
morning.
Easter egg.
Series 3 action figures coming soon. Now, it doesn't show the people, but it shows their logos. Bret Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels. Wait, again? Third time in a row? British Bulldog, Sid, Mankind, and Ahmed Johnson. So fucking cool. Now, I didn't know this ring was coming out. I just opened it Christmas morning, and my mind was fucking blown.
I definitely knew about it, and I got it for that Christmas as well. But I was excited. And I thought it was so cool. The stickers, each side is a different pay-per-view. So, like, if you were really being nuts, you could kind of spin it and be like, well, today's Survivor Series. And then
one of
that's
my favorite things.
That's the apron you can see, you know?
One of my favorite things.
Can you imagine? Like, that's when it was the big four, you know? So
That's all you needed. Yeah.
It was, oh, bro, that ring was just iconic to me. I absolutely loved it. They did switch it a little bit because the LJN ring if you remember, it was recalled because people were falling and it was stabbing them. So they added a little like round part to the top of the ring.
Like really flat
Yeah, because
circle thing.
people were literally being stabbed by the ring. I played with this ring so damn much. I was a hard player. I loved it. I just loved how big it was. You could do so many things with this.
It was sturdy.
With this ring.
It's just massive though. But yeah.
I will say this quick story. In 1997, my mom quit smoking. Okay, and
Okay.
in that time, she was very testy. It's a very difficult thing for a human being to do. And there was a specific day that I was playing with these action figures in the dining room, and she was not happy about whatever was happening. Maybe I didn't take the trash out or whatever the hell. And she threw the ring. She like threw it out of the way or moved it, like clean up this shit, right? And it broke. There was a piece of it, the
Snapped the
side
post.
broke. No, just like the plastic on the side. And the ring was still fine. Everything was good, but there was a hole in the side. And it was actually, I was thrilled because you could put
Oh,
the
no.
piece, and then you could play with it where the guy's going through the ring, right? So my mom made an action feature in this ring, but it's something that I will never forget
Yeah, I
about
guess
this
that's-
ring.
It's gonna be burned in your childhood memory.
Something else I got Christmas morning that I did not know was coming out. The Survivor Series 4-pack.
Dude.
So it's Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Goldust from Series 1, and Ultimate Warrior in an exclusive green outfit. Like, unbelievable.
I don't want to say I threatened my mother, but pretty close to it. I'm like, dude, I think it was hard for her to understand, like, why am I going to buy you this 4-pack when you have 3 of these figures already, right? And I'm saying,
So
well,
here's the
the
question
only-
for you guys.
Only way to get this Ultimate Warrior, and I can't
What
live
do you
without
do
it.
with
That's
those
why.
other figures? What? So you get this. I would never have gotten this. I wouldn't have wasted the money. But
That's what I'm saying. But I was so obsessed with this line and being like having everything and embracing it. I was like, I can't live without this Warrior. What else am I supposed to do?
Well, first of all, let's just say Warrior does not have that black on the top of the hair on this one.
No.
And for me, Mark, like I said, I had gotten rid of all Series 1. So this was my parents' way of rebuying the Goldust,
That's a
the
happy
Bret.
accident for you, though.
Well, here's the problem. I never got Diesel and Razor again. I didn't get them for Christmas, and they were long gone, and they were impossible to find. So I didn't have Diesel and Razor for years, and it was like eating me up that I didn't have them.
I see.
Because
that
I
makes
thought
sense.
I got it for Christmas. Well, my parents thought they got everyone for Christmas, but they did not get Diesel and Razor. But this Warrior, it's actually, if you look at the gear,
This is such a D-Freedom little tidbit that only he
It's-
would discover.
it's based off reference photos that he took for the In Your House video game, where the gear that gear is not how it looks in the game. They use that and they like
It's dumbed down
digitalize it,
gear
whatever.
that's- for mocap.
Right. And they got the reference shots for this, like, hey, let's make a figure out of it. Which
But yeah, so he never wore it to wrestle.
never.
Which I'm not mad at because it's still a very toyetic and cool figure, but it makes sense.
So-
why
Very interesting.
It's an
I want to
outfit
show
that
you. I have this
you can't
4-pack.
find an actual in-ring shot of him wearing that because it doesn't exist.
Just check out the errors here on this 4-pack here. Goldust does not have the gloves. Like, this is the kind of stupid stuff that were on these figures. See that? It's painted with gloves.
Oh shit! Wow.
it's not there.
Those are razor arms.
Yeah. So I love this. The Shawn, the Bret, the Goldust Warrior.
The back is really awesome, like the bios and stuff. Like this would really
By the
entice
way,
a kid.
look at that picture of Warrior. I'm standing by my thing. That's the roots of his hair.
Yeah, true.
I'm
like
sticking
brown.
with my
It's like
sticking
more
with
brown.
my story.
I don't know. I think they like continued on with his makeup and put it in his hair.
No.
That's what I think happened. But it's a great set. Series 2 is on the back. Has that Survivor Series 96 logo on it. Now there are some errors, variants, whatever you want to call them, where Series 2 Bret and Shawn are in the pack.
Right.
So I don't
Whatever.
count that.
No, yeah. It's
You
still
know?
a re-release. It's still whatever.
But this was an awesome Christmas. 96 Christmas was one I will never forget. I wish I could find the video of 96 Christmas. Like just starting, not only a fig fed, but starting something that would change my entire life.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
Christmas changed my life, you know? Because I think without being obsessed with wrestling figures, I wouldn't be obsessed with wrestling, which means I wouldn't get into the wrestling business. You know what I'm saying?
Always gone hand in hand with me. I've always said that. Like the Hasbros were like the gateway to it all, but it's always just been hand in hand for whatever reason. My obsession.
Absolutely. And the fig fed situation of it's the first time that you can be creative with wrestling, right?
Yes.
You're a fan, you're watching wrestling, but playing you get to create your own and you realize it's an art and then you want to continue creating. And what do you do when you get older? You become a wrestler.
Yeah.
But unlike the Hasbros, where like everyone else in your class were getting the Hasbros, for me, I'm in 6th grade. No one else is buying these. So I'm buying them like in secret, having the fig fed in secret, playing in secret. Nobody else was collecting toys in my school.
I'm basically in the same boat. I wouldn't say in full secrecy, but not like something that I'm just going to tell the coolest kid in school right away when I'm talking to him. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm in full secret. 8th grade, I'm in full secret. Yeah.
All right, should we get to the next thing?
Dude, another thing that, man, I could talk about this for days. One of my favorite pieces of all time. Puzzle Zoo exclusive Razor Ramon and Diesel.
So
What the hell is a puzzle zoo?
Puzzle Zoo was I believe, a California-based
We went to
toy
one, Brian.
distributor.
We went to a
We
store.
saw one that, like a couple of years ago when we went to Jeremy Padower's house. We saw one still existing. So this is one of my favorite pieces of all time. I still have them in a card, like absolutely mint. Matt, you didn't even know this existed, huh?
I did not know it existed
Right.
because that would have been a cool way for me to get Razor and Diesel.
So I used to go to like Barnes and Nobles a lot when I was a kid with my mom, and there would be like Toy Mart magazine or those kind of things, and I'd always scour them for wrestling toys. And then there was an ad, a Puzzle Zoo ad in there, saying to get this exclusive, and I'm like freaking out. And that's another thing. Like my poor mother, like I basically like threatened her again, like if I don't get this for Christmas, I'm gonna self-destruct. So like made her like call or cut out the mail-in thing and get it. And sure enough, I got it for Christmas. So. And the other little tidbit, obviously this isn't my original. The original one I opened and played with a ton. But when I was a kid, I never understood my Razor had Vader legs. He had these big fat quads. And I just thought that's how it was supposed to be. And then, I mean, decade plus later, I realized that, oh wait, these are Vader's quads. And this was a mess.
I have there were enough of them like that because I have one. I have one for sure.
Yeah, and now I have a perfect one. Mint on card. It's like one of my most cherished pieces.
I love this Razor. It's like the yellow gear. It's just cool. The Diesel's different. I like that they're actual repaints. They're cool repaints. But here's a couple things that are really weird. One, these guys are long fucking gone at this point. Long gone.
Yeah.
And even if they weren't, like in WWF story, like Razor and Diesel are not affiliated
They're not even
in any way.
You know what? I never really crossed my mind that like
they're not feuding. They're not teammates. I mean, they're in the clique, but nobody knows that.
Yeah,
so it makes me believe
no reason for them to be associated together in a 2-pack at this point.
It makes me believe that
They were trying to capitalize?
Jack still had the rights to him and wanted to capitalize on the outside, which was very smart.
Sure,
Fake Razor and Diesel didn't team up.
they did, but
Fake Razor, but this isn't fake Razor.
that's
Diesel.
not even like. Yeah, I don't even think that didn't get over. It's like nobody was trying to like
I guess.
capitalize on that.
Let's talk about this other one, which is an incredible 2-pack.
Limited collector's edition, it says. What does that even mean? How
I remember
limited?
getting this at KB Toys.
I got a KB as well.
Only
The
12,000.
The Hitman Bret Hart, Owen Hart. This is I think my favorite Bret Hart. He's
All pink.
He's all pink. He's got black shades, with the white lines, which maybe are supposed to be like a glare.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the cool streaks in them for sure.
It's very, very toyetic, but Bret's not really wearing this all pink gear around this era. But still toyetic. I still like it.
And at least it's different.
It's definitely different. And Owen is certainly different. And you can't see from Brian's package, but the
Up a
cool
little
thing
bit
about
there.
this Owen,
You can kind of see on this angle.
they paint on the cast.
Yeah, I had that on. That was
I
great.
had to explain to so many of my friends, like, people thought it was like wrist tape. I'm like, no, it's the cast, guys. It's the cast. He's cheating.
And he's got the Slammy Award winner.
This is also a fun tidbit. The back of this packaging is just, phenomenal. Exceptional artwork here. I think TTD worked on this.
I love this 2-pack. It's when you're gonna make a 2-pack with exclusives and you're gonna repaint them. That's the way to do it. We'll talk about the other ones later, which aren't really that good.
The inserts, man. If there was no inserts on this, that's pretty boring. But that just pops. It's just so
That's
cool.
true.
Makes it so much nicer.
Yeah.
I love it. I love these 2-packs 100%. They're incredible. All right, let's go into Series 3.
Haven't had your dose of wrestling figures yet today? Look no further than Ringside Collectibles. All the latest and greatest Mattel WWE action figures and Jazzwares AEW action figures are ready to ship straight to your door around the world. Don't forget, RSC has exclusive items you won't find in any retail store or on any other website. Also, save time and money searching for new figures by pre-ordering them with us. If you're a wrestling figure enthusiast, WrestlingFigures.com is for life.
All right, let's take a look at Series 3. I don't know about you guys, but when I get these, it's 1997. It's January. Of course, I know they're coming out because they're on the back of Series 2, but I don't have internet. I have no pictures. I have no
Same.
images. So maybe Ringside had them before. Maybe there's certain, websites that had them before. I did not.
So what would you do? You would just, whenever you went to the toy store, you would kind of look, same thing.
I know
Series
exactly
one.
when I saw these. KB
Okay.
Toys, Roosevelt Field Mall. I knew because of the ring and the logos that they were at least gonna be a thing. And then I walked
Yeah.
in and was like couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And I want to say that was like February, March. And then I begged my mom to give me the 4 new talents, and I think she got them all and maybe held them for Easter. And I didn't get them until they were Easter.
Easter.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I'll never forget January. I got braces. My dad came into the orthodontist.
I got braces and an Ahmed. It was a good day.
I actually got Mankind. And again, same deal. My dad got the Mankind, hid the rest, went to Levittown Toys R Us.
Bob, what I've learned today is Bob needs some more walking around money, man.
He doesn't hold more than $10.
Bob needs some more walking around money. This poor guy. Holy shit.
But my dad was found Mankind, and the Mankind is incredible. Who's the first guy we're talking? We talking about Psycho Sid first?
Yeah.
Sure.
Psycho Sid Series 3. Take a look at the die cast packaging, which was eventually changed. We'll discuss it
Die
later. Die cut, sorry. Because of all those,
It would just get damaged as fuck.
all those little sharp points would get damaged so easily. But let's talk about this, guys. First time they're coming with the WWF stand. So the logo is a stand. Mark, if you go to me, I'm holding an actual stand here.
Yep.
Which, I don't know about you, Brian. I would use these like steel chairs. He's hit him with the
I
stand.
don't recall ever doing that. I would kind of like line them up for like an entranceway or things like that.
I would also
lean them against something.
for my cards, I would line them up on my floor like it was the graphic on television,
Right.
Mankind versus Sid, but I put this in the middle like it was the logo.
The real problem is they're so big, you couldn't really use them for actual stands. And by the way, the figures now have holes in their feet, obviously,
Yes.
because that's a stand.
And now by
It's
this
such
point,
a massive stand. It's so big. It took up so much space.
okay, I think you can display, but once you have more than a couple sets, then you can't.
It's pointless. You don't have it's like too much.
Though the joints are tighter now, the quality
yes.
control. I don't recall seeing any with Series 1 and 2. There were a couple of mix-ups. Maybe you saw 1 or 2 here and there, but these are a lot better in terms of quality control. You're not seeing Sid with fucking Ahmed legs. You know what I'm saying?
No. There were a few and far between. I mean, it was still happened over the years, but not like. I always hated that this was in blue.
Yeah, the blue is the big mistake, right? Because when you're getting this, he's the Black Trunk Sid,
Yeah,
who's
he's
a
a Black
badass
Trunks for a
and
while.
winning belts.
He's like the WWF champion in Black Trunks, right?
Right.
Yeah. So when this comes out, depending on when you get it, he's the champ or in the picture.
Right.
So he's the man. I love this Sid. The likeness is not horrible, but it's not the best.
It's better than I remember even.
Yeah, it's actually one of the better ones
And
I've seen so far.
You have to imagine that's grit teeth and not like really chapped lips. That's like the disconnect, right?
I'm picturing like his psycho smile.
He's just like, I'm picturing him like doing that, like kind of like, like he was
I was
scaring
picturing
a
like
kid in
his
the front
psycho
row.
smile, but I absolutely love this figure. I kind of wish he had a fist. We could do like the fist pound with the fans, like it,
Yeah.
But it's a great
Are
figure.
there, and is this the first reused parts? Because this is Razor's everything but his chest.
It might be. We might be getting into the reused parts era.
Yeah.
So who's next in the set? Juice
Man.
Make Sugar.
I was fired up.
It's one of the greatest figures of all time.
Yeah.
When it comes out, he's gigantic.
Dude, the arms are hooked to like do the Pearl River plunge.
It's so good. Hashtag Pearl River
Man,
Plunge
mine is
Challenge.
crazy loosey goosey Woody style here, but
What, bro? But these figures, you play with them, bro.
I know, yeah, but oh my god.
What a great figure. He's got the earrings, like you said. He can perfectly hook anybody for the Pearl River Plunge. He's all jacked up. Got the big
Yeah.
pecs, the big
Giant
meaty
look at
pecs.
those pecs, bro. Oh my god.
Big meaty pecs on Ahmed. I love it.
The
I absolutely
unique,
love this
like
figure.
weird Ahmed boots, which they end up using later on for so many guys, it makes no sense.
Yeah, they used to like Austin.
Yeah.
But Ahmed is kind of on his way down by this point.
I feel
It's his last flourish thing is WrestleMania 13, right?
He's
Being that
getting,
six-man
he's starting to get the injuries.
Yeah.
But he's still, you can still use him.
I was a big Ahmed guy. I've said it a million times. I thought he was going to be the man. I thought he was the man when he was going, but
Yeah, I had no idea that he was on his way down in my mind. I thought like, oh, maybe he'll come back and he'll be
No, I'm
champion
saying
someday.
in retrospect, we're going back in time.
Right,
We're
Yes.
looking at it.
Yeah, you're right.
Up next, the British Bulldog. I want to say great figure, but man, not jacked enough, not tan enough.
Yeah.
But they gave him the tassels like Warrior, which I like, the soft good tassels.
it was so cool.
It's
They should have gave him Warrior's torso, really. Or
they
whatever.
really should have, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm actually, now that I'm looking at it, I can't believe they just didn't reuse the whole thing, right?
Well, no, you can't. Warrior has like the tassels coming down from the wristbands and the knee pads on the
I
legs.
guess that's the only, yeah.
But
But this is great because now you have a tag team partner for Owen, right?
and Owen and Bulldog, okay, they're like the guys, tag team champions. They're about to start the Hart Foundation, right?
So I mean, it's a big deal to have a short-haired Davy boy for the first time.
But yeah, and
and
also Bulldog's been with the company for years too, so there's a lot that you can do. He's a well-known wrestler,
yeah, I mean, and it's all up to your imagination. Are you going to make him babyface? You make him a heel?
Yep.
I'm going to
With
say
these-
there's no way he had plain white trunks that just said Bulldog on them, too, but
Yeah, not
no way.
the most toyetic.
but I still loved this figure when I was a kid.
Dun, dun,
Mine's, like, so
dun,
dirty from being played with.
Great four figures, great four characters. Next to,
Hall of Famer here.
well, Mankind, Hall of Fame figure. Hall of Fame
Unbelievable.
figure.
The detail on this.
so good.
I still think this is the best Mankind figure ever.
Mick Foley's rookie figure, by the way.
Okay, he has a
Hard to
molded
process that.
forearm hair. Has
That looks
ever-
awesome. I mean,
Like
Looks
the
so good.
attention to detail. He's got the scar, the mandible claw. Everything is original. I like that, like the bagginess of his pants and tights. It has like
Yes.
the baggy.
little wrinkles and stuff. Like, man.
Like the detail on this
Scars
is just
and-
incredible.
The scar
got
on
the-
the arm is something
Scar
that
on
I
the
will
arm.
remember forever. Yeah.
The
The mandible
mandible
claw thing is
claw.
great.
Like and
Yeah, like having a playable mandible claw is unreal.
I love you can like sit him down, do like the rockin' like
Yeah.
Mankind.
Man. That's always, yeah.
Just
That's it.
Mankind was a top guy in my
It's just
big
so
fan.
fun
And this
to
is when
play with.
he's starting to get over. Because he's just comes off. If you're looking back in time, like the whole feud with the Undertaker,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Now around this time, he's kind of doing the stuff with Vader, but they're feuding with Owen and Bulldog, and eventually, turns babyface later that year. So perfect time to get a Mankind. But as I was saying, these four incredible. The next two, oh boy, I would say straight up re-releases, but they're not. Series 1, Shawn Michaels. It's essentially the same figure as Series 1.
With his hole.
but he's got the peg holes. So
And also a little sturdier.
I mean, this one,
yeah,
way like my other one was insane. I'm just
a little
comparing it.
sturdier.
Sturdier, maybe a little brighter paint jobs or different.
There's a difference
decorations.
in the hair
there's
color.
yeah, right there.
Now, guys, we talked about this in our LJN episode. You'll find this later down the Jakks line. There are so many variants that are not supposed to be variants. They're just, they're mass producing these at like record numbers, But this Sean is known that the hair color is different. And look, let's take a look at the pegs. Series 1, no peg hole. Series 2 has the peg, so you can put it on the stand. So at the time, I didn't get it. I didn't care.
I was so nuts. I didn't miss anything. Got it.
I really wish they just would have given him a different outfit.
I mean, obviously, yeah, for sure. But I think like the line is a proven commodity now, and they're just trying to like,
So you would get this, and even though you have the same figure, what would you use it for?
I would like retire the not peg one, but keep it like in my collection, and then this would be the one I'd play with.
Got it.
And then the stand, in my mind, I'm like, well, I need all 6 stands. There's 6.
Right.
That's how psycho I was.
Yeah, and here's Bret Hitman Hart. This is the Series 3. He has the peg hole at the bottom. It's a good figure, but it's Series 1. The hair color a little different, slightly different from Series 1. If you're being super anal about it,
This could literally just be like they switched factories and using the same molds.
Crotch is really like oxidized, like different color.
yeah. But
just like that.
the decal slightly different on the chest. You could barely tell, but it is.
Come on, yeah.
I mean, that's
Come on, brah.
Come on. That's some deep freedom psychoness. And then, of course, the foot hole. Clear as day.
Yep.
Clear as day. And then, like I said, they switched the packaging up. So what they did was they just filled in the die cut.
It was very ambitious, but like there's too many corners, dude. It's gonna just get damaged. It was the
And
right
that's
call.
that's
Let's switch
exactly what was happening. They were getting all dinged up. So again, the same figures. You got Sid, you got everybody else in the line. You got Ahmed, you got the Bulldog, Mankind, Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart. And what was really interesting about Series 3, we're going to jump ahead a little bit, but we have to mention it. Well, Series 3, look at the back of the box, shows all the guys, of course, which is nice, shows the ring, shows you how not to do the bone-crunching sound,
Very
which,
important.
we still need to know this stuff, guys. Some special re-releases in Series 3, which is a little head-scratching to me for a couple reasons.
I walked into Toys R Us in Carl Place. I'll never forget it. I have no idea that these exist, and I'm like, like the blinking man emoji that Broski sends. Like, what?
So it's a Goldust Series 1 re-release, but it's not quite a re-release because they update the deco. They add a black trim around the silver.
Makes a world of a difference.
It absolutely makes it pop.
And obviously the hole in the foot and the stand, but I mean, that makes a big difference.
Big difference.
Aesthetically.
100%. And then up next, Big Daddy Cool Diesel, which is like, what?
Which for the longest, I was like, if there's a Diesel, there's got to be a Razor, right? So when I was a kid, I was looking for it.
That's what I was thinking too, because, okay, now I was able to get a Diesel for my Fig Fed, thank God. And as you can tell, different peg hole, or has a peg hole, no peg hole. But why did they re-release Diesel but no Razor? So as a fan, I still had no Razor.
So it was just the
never,
Gold
ever
Dust
know.
and Diesel that were
That's it.
released?
That's it.
Which is also so weird because technically the Bret and Shawn are re-released from Series 1.
Right.
You know?
we're-
It's just odd.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is right now when the shackles are off. Okay, so this series, this Gold Dust
You've given in?
specifically, I've said this many times. Me and Steve Negron, we booked a Fig Fed together. Okay, I'm not saying that we had any issues together booking the storylines, but they weren't necessarily all mine. Okay, maybe I wanted somebody to join the Four Horsemen, maybe he didn't. Right. So this was kind of my secret. You know what? I'm going to run my own
brand
Fig
behind
Fed.
his back. This is
Built the
first time you
brand.
did this. in your life.
Built the brand behind Steve Negron's back, and that's when I And I might have been getting my own money at this time, my allowance or whatever it was.
You had a paper route, right?
Yeah, something. So I bought these myself, the ring, everything that I could find, this entire series, the Ahmed Johnson, the re-releases of Series 1 because I never had them. But still, you could easily find that Undertaker that was glow in the dark. So I got that. So I basically got everything that I could at this point, and that's when I started making my Jakks Fig Fed right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, now you have enough guys for a proper Fig Fed 100%.
Yeah.
In February of this year, 1997, at the Javits Center Toy Fair with a nice big spread. So now we're cooking here.
Man.
We're cooking. We got some
It's so
upcoming
cool to see. Like,
lineups.
obviously, we don't know that exists when we're kids, but
No, of course not. So, it shows what's going to come for the rest of the year. Toy Fair is such a big deal now. It was then, but more so for like retailers, not fans. People who are picking up these lines, like a Toys R Us or a KB or Kmart, stuff like that. It wasn't for
John Howell from Ringside Collectibles.
who was sneaking into these things. So, unlike the previous 2-packs we mentioned, these not so much meat on the bone as Shawn Michaels and Vader. Yeah, these guys were feuding the previous summer, but
So it makes sense. It's the old
yeah,
carding.
essentially though, just like Series 2, maybe you can say slight paint differences on the Shawn or Vader,
I
but
feel like I need that mint on card to complete my little.
well,
Yeah.
you
It's
might.
his grudge match. It's great. Limited collector's edition, too. It's funny, nowadays the limited figure is 3,000, one of 3,000, right?
Yeah,
But then back
12,000.
then was 12,000.
Massive.
So how many was like regular Undertaker? How many were out there?
Oh my
100,000?
I mean, up
Which
until a couple
also-
years ago, a lot of these bone crunchers are very plentiful and affordable,
Right.
and they're not
Right.
anymore.
Especially that Series 1, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So look at the Shawn right here, the different gloves from Series 1. It's like, you got to be real anal to count stuff like
that's
this.
like, yeah.
But it's true. Like, I have it. Because I'm a completist of Bone Crunchers, so I have it, and I can confirm the paint difference is different. Look at the gold, the Vader, slightly different.
Not enough for me on that, man.
No, absolutely. Absolutely
So
not.
did you pass Brian on that? Was that something you would pass on or no?
So that I couldn't like if I couldn't see a difference or a new accessory or something, then no way. Like I don't think I ever bought that.
Okay.
Right.
This is another one that's
Same
slightly.
with this. I didn't buy this because it's the exact 2 figures from Series 3 just in a 2-pack.
Well, it's not exact.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Well,
Lay
it's
it
not.
on, lay it on me.
It's not exact.
Okay.
Yeah, what do we got?
I mean, this is like the complete. This is like super duper anal stuff. I can't even like explain to you what the difference
I'm
is. but I can-
already disagreeing
but I
with
can-
you, but sure.
Okay, look at the British Bulldog here. This is Series 3 Bulldog.
Okay.
I don't know if you can tell. Can you see where the holes are in his arm?
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
forearm and bicep?
Like the air holes for the bone crunching action we're talking about?
but
Yeah,
those
I
holes, you see?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Now look at the one from the 2-pack where they are.
Oh my God. Come on.
Okay.
But it's a difference. They're different.
Who cares?
I mean,
I don't.
look at his other arm on the Series 3 has. It's
What
on the
does he
elbow
have? What are you talking about?
on my Series 3 on the other side. It's elbow
It's
pad.
on. I don't think you have a Series 3 then, pal. I
There's
think
no
you
way.
have
I got
a.
this when I was a kid. I've never replaced this dirty and played with.
Bro, I don't think you have a Series 3.
I think those dots are just random and you're wrong completely is what I
No,
think.
because look, here's my Series 3. The dots are there
So is
and
that-
there. And then my Series,
So I have one of each. So explain that.
Oh, yeah. Right there. Oh, yeah. Look at that, broski.
I think you have an error, some sort of error.
I think you're a psychopath is what I think.
Yeah, that is not. By the way, D Freedom is laughing his ass off there.
Yeah,
If D Freedom thinks that you're a psycho, you are a psycho.
Yeah. Moving on.
I'm looking at the SIDS right now. Now I'm confused, guys. Come on.
You better make sure you put those back in labeled baggies so you know. What the hell.
I know. But guys, these are things that I didn't need as a kid, but they could have fucking. What? Imagine if that Bulldog was repainted a little different.
I mean, yeah, anything.
It just would have been so much nicer.
Absolutely.
Because the other 2-packs are so colorful. They pop. These,
Yeah.
Yep.
Making money. Just do what it is.
All right, let's take a look at Series 4. This episode of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast has been brought to you by Ringside Collectibles, the #1 online retailer of WWE action figures.
Go to WrestlingFigures.com and make a purchase. And when you do, use discount code MAJOR at checkout to save 10%.
And maybe my favorite set of the entire, not just this series, not just this year, not just this video, but the entire Bone Crushing set. It's Bad Boys
For life.
Series 4.
I think I agree with you. I think it makes the series. And this is right when I was getting in. So Bad Boys was just about to come out, I think, when I started buying them. And then it just completes everything.
Let's take a step back here. A
Okay.
themed series of just heels.
Phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
That's unheard of.
Now, again, I still don't have internet. So I don't know these are fucking coming. Okay? I have no idea. I'm going into 7th grade. Okay? Summer 96. So think about that gap, though. January 96, I get Series 3.
It's 97.
I'm sorry. So January 97, I get Series 3. July 97, I get Series 4. So I have a huge gap in my fig fed. I'm begging for new talent.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm begging.
It's about to explode.
The storylines are getting
talent.
stale.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll never forget. Levittown
Attendance
Toys
is
R
down.
Us. I just saw Men in Black in theater. Toys R Us is right in that shopping center. I said, let me go over that Toys R Us. Thank God I did. Case motherfucking fresh. Bad Boys Series 4 on the shelves, and it rocked my world. Absolutely rocked my world. What about you, Brian? Did you know it was coming?
So either I saw it in one of those Toy Mart magazines, Digest or whatever, or, and back me up on this, broski, like this is probably going to pertain to you as well. If you ordered from Ringside, then you started to get those like Ringside like newsletters on like
I didn't
colored.
they were
order
black
from
and
white,
white,
but on colored paper. So
Yeah.
you'd see like crappy little black and white, so you'd have an idea. And looking back on it now, seeing some of this research that Dee's done for us, it's pictures from like Toy Fair that John had and stuff. You know?
Right.
Right.
So I knew, but I didn't know when. And then I walked into, again, something I'll just never, ever forget, Toys R Us in Huntington with my mom. And I'm like in a panic. And I guess he's had been there for a minute because they only had Vader and Triple H. But Triple H is like my be-all, end-all favorite wrestler and the one that I wanted. So I walked out. I didn't get the Vader that day, but I got that Triple H, and that started, you know.
Wait, heel Triple H was your favorite wrestler?
I always liked bad guys, and I always liked guys like who were working their way up the card kind of thing, like investments, and he was my guy. He was my pedigree, you know, Greenwich snob. Triple H was my favorite at that
Well,
time.
who we starting with, Mark? Who we gonna start with?
Well, for me, it was Springfield, Massachusetts, Toys R Us, seeing Stone Cold, and it's just like, well, come on, right? Come on.
And Stone Cold's
He
so
was my
hot at the
favorite.
time. He's hard to like get. And
But
that
that's
was
the
like-
first one that I saw, and I didn't give a shit about anything else. But now I have Stone Cold and this fig fed that I started by myself very recently, by the way. Like maybe a few weeks before I started buying these, and then I see the Stone Cold. So
who do
but
you
let's
wanna
talk
start
about here Farouk.
with? Farouk.
Man, I was just thinking about this Farouk. I think Farouk debuts this look at Survivor Series 96, right?
Right.
So like that is a quick turnaround.
And I believe these are shown off at that toy fair, so it's even quicker turnaround.
It's like insane that they weren't like, because it's not like they're like, oh, this was supposed to be Farouk Assad and they used the parts. Like, there's no
Right,
way.
no.
Like, even as the strap across the back, that makes
Yep.
it Farouk. So, like, damn, that was wild.
I love this. I love these doing like the nation hand sign if you want. He's got, are these Ahmed arms exactly or just
I don't
similar?
think so, actually.
They're just similar arms. Okay.
It looks like Ahmed's torso, right?
No, it's not.
No,
well,
it's
I mean,
not.
it's
No,
not
got a
Ahmed's
singlet.
torso. It's just a singlet.
Molded singlet.
It's a
impossible.
molded thing. Well, it's the same boobs though.
Same boobs.
Same big old titties he's got.
This
yeah.
this is one thing that's a little odd to me, and we'll explain why in the set. Not removable hat.
Yeah, I mean, as we go on here, there's a couple odd choices like that. Yeah.
Great figure. I like it. It's re-released
it,
a
yeah.
million times.
Yeah, oh my God, it gets released so
A
many times.
million times.
Yeah.
Who's the
And
next
never
one? we
and
got?
never different.
Bro, you're going to think I'm crazy. This might have been, I don't want to say it's my favorite one of the set. I'm
It's the
not going to
sleeper.
say
It's the sleeper.
Yeah,
but it's
I love
like,
them.
wait a minute. A mid-Carter? Right? Like,
That's
what?
even tough.
mean-
I would even. You're going too far saying mid Carter. I feel.
It made me think that they had more plans for him than what was played out on TV. Right? Because he certainly, if you were like, oh, all the people, 6 months prior to get a figure, you would never say Justin Hawk Bradshaw, right?
But, in your Fig Fed so far, you got Sean, Brett, and now you have Justin Hawk Brad. It's like, this is what we've been dying
But
for.
I like that because you got some people that could eat some L's.
That's
you
what
know?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And he's got
Eat some L's.
bull rope.
He became my top guy.
I mean, he got a little shove in my Fed too, but I'm just saying there was people that could finally,
Yeah.
He's got the bull rope. He's got the removable hat. And that's what's so strange that Farouk doesn't have the removable hat, but Justin Hawk Bradshaw and will.
2 accessories. Mind
Yeah, he
blowing.
has 2 accessories.
Mind-blowing.
Very, very toyetic is Justin Hawk Bradshaw. No denying that.
I loved this because he wasn't featured very much
Right,
on TV.
yeah.
There was
I
no
love- that's
storylines.
what- So did
It's
I.
like you could
So it was
almost give
all
him the
in-
push that you dreamed of, right?
And
Not
everything
one
that
was
you
playing
came
on
up
TV.
with was new
Yeah.
and not used, and you could make him anything really.
Let's go.
but here we
to
go,
the
baby.
next one. Come on. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, like,
And this is,
I
mean,
don't
Hall
think
and Nash
it
we
can
talked
be
about, like they were
expressed.
like a little hard to find because of NWO or whatever, but this was different. This was the first time a figure was like sought after,
Yeah.
like
Like-
hot.
I can't put into words what this figure was. Like, when this comes out, now, there are the Toy Fair images of Austin have like the white boots, and I'm glad they switched it.
And like
I'm glad they switched
tighter
the
arms. Yeah, like his arms are
yeah.
a little tighter, more flexed.
So this is definitely better with the black, but he's got the white boots that the white star on the boots on the release version
Yep.
that they keep forever to the end of time.
Baffling, or how that happened, I don't know.
So like that's a little odd. That's a little head scratchy. The white stars on the boots, but man, like it's perfect. He can do the stunner. It's just unbelievable. It's such a great figure.
Elbow pads make no sense, really, right?
Yeah, I guess. I have one right here. A mint on card. The back is incredible, and now also on the back, it shows the managers. Where I'm like, what? They're making managers? We'll talk about them later. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But Farouk, Jerry the King Lawler, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Justin Hawk Bradshaw, Vader, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Bad Boys. With these 6 Bad Boys figures, bad has never been so good. So
Yes.
I think right here on the show, I'm going to have to do it. I think we have to let it breathe right here
Wow.
on the show.
Tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Smell it, baby.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to.
Kind of jealous. Very-
Oh, my
very
God.
intimate.
Oh, my God. It smells like Levittown Toys R Us. Smells like 1996. Let's give a little bone crunching in the knee. Man, what an
The
iconic.
best.
Iconic figure. I absolutely love this figure. It's great. Now, looking back, I guess if you're a fan of figures these days, you look at this, you're like, why does he have these big wristbands? Why does he have the elbow? Wait, it was Austin. We got
Yeah.
Austin.
That's what I was like. He's so hot at the time. His first figure ever. The rookie.
Yep.
Think of how many Stone Cold figures there are right now. You couldn't.
Did Bendy come out before this? Because he had white
Collect
boots.
them all if you tried.
No. Bendy does not come out
It
before
does
this.
not. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Maybe his Playmates little thing does.
Maybe.
That doesn't count. That
Right.
doesn't count, though.
No.
This is incredible, guy. It's fucking Austin. Now, to put into perspective, where is Austin? He just has that feud with Brett at WrestleMania 13. He's feuded with the Hart
He's like-
Foundation now.
He is as hot as it comes.
He's stunnering everybody. He's about to wrestle
Spearheading,
Owen.
like the popularity of wrestling as a whole.
He's about to change the fucking business.
Yeah.
Yeah, changed my life. Yeah, for sure.
Next
Well,
up,
here's Brian's guy.
My God, dude.
Victor
Another one
First.
that, dude, this figure got re-released 47 times.
Yes.
But I think it's perfect. I loved it. You can hook that pedigree.
Hook the pedigree. I liked the little ponytail. It was still soft.
which would rip off. The
It would
glue
rip
could
off
rip
a lot.
off, but yeah.
I love the baggy tights. Something that like Mattel just glosses over. Doesn't do that. I'm not
True.
shitting on Mattel here, but I'm
I
just
know,
saying.
but
Like, look
yeah,
at the
you're
attention to
You're not
detail
wrong.
here.
You're not wrong.
Awesome figure. Like this is like the iconic Hunter Hearst Helmsley look. You know, the likeness is pretty good for 1996.
That's great.
He's
I think it looks
lean.
good.
He can wrestle your Ultimate Warrior.
I loved it. Yeah.
Oh my god! And
Exactly.
right now he has just won King of the Ring, so he's on his way.
He
Up.
literally wins King of the Ring. Yeah.
He wins King of the Ring,
Which
So
is
it's like
great
a
because
perfect
now
time.
you can use a piece of the next guy.
Well, there it is.
got the crown.
And
And this was
was a-
sick for a lot of reasons. You had a guy, like I said, a guy to put people over. Not to, disparage the legendary career of Jerry the King Lawler, but at 96, or 97, he's not,
He's a commentator.
top guy.
Pop-
but you also
popping
got a
in.
commentator.
Right.
I absolutely exactly. It's a 2-in-1.
Yeah.
The strap. He's got the chest hair molded in,
Chest
which
hair is
I really
so
appreciate.
good. So good.
And the removable crown. So, like you said, Mark, you can have a King of the Ring.
That was like the such an important thing. I think
Look at that
I
chest.
immediately did a King of the Ring tournament when I brought him home.
Yeah.
He did not win.
great get.
Spoiler.
Just the attention to detail here. The straps on the boots. Just like he can do a perfect pile driver.
And
Oh,
obviously
man.
this toy, very nostalgic for us, is the reason why this most recent Mattel figure that just came out was so cool to us because this is that. This is that.
It is the era of Jerry, right?
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful figure. The next figure, Vader.
It's the same as what we've discussed several times in the show. It's just Series 2, but now he's got a hole in the foot and a stand,
Yep.
Now he's at the hole in the foot in the stand. It's
You would have
again-
thought he would have updated the brightness of that red, which they do much later, but
Yeah, it's one that I skipped.
Yep.
I didn't need it. I didn't need it because I
so
had
like I
Series
had
2.
to get it because I eventually got it. It wasn't like a priority, but I eventually got it because of the stand and the difference, and then
And listen, I'm not going to complain. We have 5 bangers and a re-release.
I also think at this point I realized the joints were getting tighter and the things are being made better.
Yes.
So I did want my like Series 1 and Series 2 guys to kind of
yeah.
be retired a little bit.
Yep.
It's just a great lineup. Your Fig Fed is really cooking. You're really picking up steam. You're getting new characters. You can start your own storylines. You have someone like Justin Hawk Bradshaw. You have Jerry Lawler. It's just, and now you have Austin. You have Stone Cold Steve Austin for the
Game
first
changer.
time. I don't think people realize how incredible that is. Like, okay, like now, like the fans, like I would kind of compare it to like the LA Knight that's kind of coming out. But LA Knight, as good as he is, as popular as he is, he's not Stone Cold Steve Austin popular.
How about
You know what I'm saying?
realizing that the APA was in a set?
Oh shit.
I actually used them as a tag team later on, which didn't quite make any sense. But
I would do shit like that. My imagination would ignore the Nation of Domination stuff, and I could make them whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I used the purple glow in the dark Undertaker on a bike. It's like I didn't care.
How dare you? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Great set. I love it. I just love the iconic, the brick, the bad boys.
Man,
It was
I just
awesome,
Loved it. Like
man.
I said, an entire set themed to like. I mean, you don't know they're heels per se, right? But they're bad guy wrestlers. Like,
Bad boys, baby.
so cool.
Bad boys. All right. Up next, another, in my opinion, iconic set and really adds some meat and potatoes to your Fig Fed Managers Series 1.
And we
Paul
finally get-
Bearer,
we finally get
Mankind.
figures with no bone crunching action.
They do not feature the bone crunching action, but they're in scale. However, they're in scale. Now, Jakks did something. Now, it may be because Jack was from LJN. LJN had the managers, had the referees. That Hasbro era completely skips them. But if you're a kid, even if you're not a kid, even if you're just playing, you need the other people. You need managers. You need people from ringside. And we finally got it here with the Manager Series 1. Check out
man.
that Paul Bearer.
That shit holds up, man. Look at that figure.
Dude,
Yeah, the face is like one of the best in the whole series.
Oh my god.
I would argue to this day, best Paul Bearer.
I mean, possibly, right?
I mean, even the one that Mattel's putting out now, I think is too big. You know, this
Look at
is
him pointing. Also, let it be known that the urn is great, and it also goes in the Undertaker's hand too.
yeah, which is super fun.
It goes in the Undertaker's hand.
Yeah,
Well,
it
he's
can fit
got,
in
like,
that
Okay.
open hand.
Yeah.
I love he's doing the point. I just love that it's in scale. Looks like Paul Bearer. Man, this summer, it literally it's gonna sound crazy. It changed my life, man. It
Yeah.
changed my life just having all these guys.
And also wrestling is spiking in popularity too, right?
1997 is my favorite year of wrestling.
97 is the first time I remember my friends liking wrestling again.
Again.
Right? Yeah,
Yep.
again. Keyword, yes.
Freshman in high school, by the way, and yeah, everybody liked wrestling. People were doing suckets and English class and all that stuff.
Well, it's
And-
coming,
and-
but yeah.
Well, at the
Mankind-
end of the year, by the end of the year, yeah.
Mankind's the same. I mean, maybe there's some slight paint differences, but essentially
Same
it's
to
the
me.
same figure. Same
Yeah.
to me. But you had to get it to get Paul
to get
Bearer.
Paul Bear, which was a big
So,
deal.
next one, incredible. We got a mid-card babyface. We got Wild Man,
Yeah,
Mark
$9.99.
Marrow. What a tan on the Wild Man. Unbelievable tan on Mark Marrow.
I
Check
love
it out
this
here.
figure. He got a lot of play.
Look at this. It's great. He can do the
Oh
wild
man, you can do the
thing.
shooting star press.
Yeah.
Exactly. He can do
Unbelievable.
The wild thing. Little crazy eyes. The Sable is cool. Got Sable here.
Little arm candy.
It's a great figure. She stands up. You know, she's fine. They only have one stand. They want you to share the stand. Which is a little weird.
That was a little cheap, but whatever. Look at the deco hits back here, the Wild Man logo.
That's pretty cool.
I just love the Sable figure. It's just so great. Now, they were going to be a little different. They were shown at the Toy Fair. Sable is going to be in like a greenish, Marrow in a white. But I'm
That
fine with
hand-
how it
that
came out.
hand is turned way different too on Marrow.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like almost like a Von Erich claw compared to what came out.
Yeah, interesting.
I see that. Yeah. I like it. I like the figure. I like the Marrow. I like the Sable. Up next, this is one where it's like, how deep are we cutting here? Yeah, how deep are
At
we
this
cutting
time,
here?
the most famous professional wrestling lawyer.
Jailbird Crush.
Jailbird
Clarence Mason.
Crush, Clarence Mason. This was not something on my bingo card. I didn't think, okay,
All right.
Crush and Clarence Mason are coming. Jailbird Crush, incredible figure. The detail is great. He can do the heart punch fist. The Clarence Mason is awesome. Man, I just love the
Centipede
tattoo.
on his forehead.
Yeah.
Nose
So-
ring.
Crush, how many guys at this point have had Hasbro's and Bone Crunchers? We have Brett, Taker, Sean, and Bulldog, Sid, and Crush.
Yep.
Clarence Mason is awesome. I love it. I love the glasses.
Pretty great.
It's such a Clarence Mason. Like we're getting Clarence Mason. I
Mason's
love that.
One and only action figure.
It's
Well,
crazy.
he has another release, but
But you know what I mean.
I watched all of 96 and 97 recently while I worked out, right? So it's crazy because Clarence Mason, when you think of managers nowadays, like never really had many promos. He kind of just like walked out with them, like did a couple
He manages,
crazy
like,
things.
Bulldog and Owen.
He does
dude?
Bulldog and Owen.
So random.
And sells them to Cornette or the other way around. But Clarence Mason himself, very rarely doing any promos or anything. He just kind of walked out.
What was he accomplishing?
Yeah, I don't know.
For all you plebeians out there,
this might be my favorite of the set. Mr. Bob Backlund and the Sultan.
another man that had a Hasbro, but now he
Oh, that's right. So this is Rikishi Fatu.
in the short-lived Sultan gimmick. Like there's no way he's the Sultan when this comes out, is he?
I think he's still around as the Sultan.
Yeah?
This time. Now he has different style legs. He
This is
can
the
do
first
almost
time we
like-
get the V crotch.
Check this out, Mark. You can like kind of do like the splits here, which is a little different. Which I kind
Which
of
is cool.
appreciated.
You can do ninja kicks.
You can do like the side, like
Yeah.
crescent kick.
Split leg moonsault.
Still a very toyetic figure.
I loved
Is it-
this figure.
Is there a Mattel Sultan?
It's on the way, brother.
It's on the way. Okay, this is just a great figure. The Bob Backlund is excellent. It was just it's fucking Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this Bob's first figure ever?
Yeah, I know it's Popey,
Okay, true.
but first figure in 30 years or whatever.
So just an incredible figure. Oh, look at that! It shows the mini the figures on the back. We're not covering that in this episode, but those minifigures were
I did
cool.
love those minifigures though.
Those were cool. I use them as like the remember when like it would be like mini Goldust, mini Vader. I'd use them as the minis. They'd be my,
I use
that's
those,
cool.
If we were going on vacation, I would take those, so I'd take my whole fig fed with me, and that would suffice for the trip.
I just love this set. It's like with Series 4 and this, like your fig fed just
It
gets
exploded.
It explodes. Now you can even do house shows, because you get.
You
Now
can do
you're really
creative
making
things.
some money. Now you're really making some money with your fig.
But you
fed.
can give people managers that didn't have it. You can do storylines where like this person turns on this person. There's like
Royal
a lot of
Rumble
meat
and
in
have
the bone.
Bob Backlund be in it.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell you
Shot
want.
back a special, it's great. You get really creative now. With
You
all
can have a
these
women's
figures, so
division.
I really like it. Well, not yet, but pretty
Not
soon. you can. Next up is the Vince McMahon microphone, which is essentially the same exact microphone
With the
except
autograph.
It has the autograph of Vince McMahon.
Which, take note, this came up recently on a podcast. Full Vince autograph, not just a VM.
Yeah,
Right.
there it
There
is,
it
right
is.
there, and all the buttons don't work, so it's not like they're still there, but they don't press in.
It's just for show, right?
Hello, hello, is this working? Hello, hello. Oh,
Oh,
hello.
yeah, it has that. It has
Hello,
the echo.
coming down the aisle.
Oh, nailed it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is awesome.
I
It is
had them
great.
both as a kid. So,
Wow.
just because I was
Vince
a psycho.
McMahon, 1997, Titan Sports Inc. I love it. This is so great. Really, really cool.
You think Vince has that hanging up in his office?
He should. He really
definitely
should.
should.
He
He
should.
really should.
I mean, I would. I'd be proud of it.
Yeah.
Next up,
Man.
bro,
Let's go.
Oh, my God.
Team.
The Legion of Doom. And boys, you can
Little
take the spikes off.
Shoulder pads, guys.
Thank Christ.
Holy smokes. I mean, I've told the story so many times, but there used to be this big ass Toys R Us in Times Square before the glamorous, like famous one. There's just like a regular one. There was a couple stories. I went there with my mom before Christmas '97, so I want to say it was like November-ish. These were all there. Series 5 was all there. The title pack that we're going to talk about was all there, and I am having like a meltdown. Just a meltdown.
Great bodies on them too, for what they look like at the time.
Yeah, I think it's great.
So by this time, I got a computer, I got the internet, and I found Ringside Collectibles.
Oh, baby.
With all their photos. So now I knew, like, oh my God, they're making tag teams, or we'll talk about later, like Yokozuna. I couldn't believe it. It was like finding the internet and finding the figures, the figures early. It was just an unbelievable feeling, and it just opened up my eyes to everything. It just made figure collecting so much more exciting. And these LOD figures are unbelievable.
The shoulder
not
pads,
jacked enough.
guys. For kids who had the Hasbros and know the torment of not being able to take those shoulder pads off.
I didn't use them.
Yeah.
I did not use them.
This was like an unbelievable thing.
Yeah,
mean, the
and when
likeness is
those
great.
shoulder pads hold up to this day as
They're
far as like
sick,
the
yeah.
detail and
Yeah.
whatever. Like you could put that on a Mattel and be like, yeah, these were
Put
just
them on
made.
your Ahmed. Oh, I'm sure everyone did that. I'm sure.
The best.
I still think like the sculpt on these are incredible.
That's what I'm saying.
Not just the spikes though, but the whole figure.
Yep, I agree. Perfect.
Maybe not as jacked. So I guess they have like the same body, which is kind of like
I guess, yeah.
same arms.
Yeah, but that did not bother me when I was a kid.
It didn't bother me at all. I think I just
Animal
realized,
certainly
it's the
didn't
same
have
part.
abs at the time, so
One thing I
Neither of
didn't
them.
like, Animal doesn't have his like mohawk coming down.
You mean like the more mullety?
Yeah, like it doesn't continue on,
It wasn't like that then? I don't recall.
It was never that short. Doesn't he always have a little
Not. Oh, I don't want to say always.
yeah.
Well, I don't have a picture of him right now,
we
so
can
I
fact check.
can't tell
but,
you.
Yeah. God, so good.
Who we got next, Mark?
Oh yeah.
New blackjacks.
Dad, doesn't Santa know I hate the new blackjacks?
Bradshaw, Blackjack Wyndham. Now, it's a little confusing for your Fig Fed because you just got
Yeah.
Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
Which is crazy that you got like a new figure that fast.
And it's crazy.
But
the
also
first
shows you
person-
how short-lived Justin Hawk Bradshaw was.
That too.
But also, it's crazy to think how short-lived the Blackjacks were, that they got a figure.
That as well, because these guys really had no run together.
And the lamest thing about these is the hat doesn't come off. And I remember ripping the hat off because I thought it was the
Mind
Undertaker.
blown.
And there's like a hole in the head. It's
Mind
like,
blown.
how does that happen?
That already a set that's gonna sell not that great.
Yeah.
You do something to it like that. Oof, what a bad call.
I got him and then just threw him to the side. I ripped,
Threw him to the side.
ripped the hat off
They-
because
they
I
did some-
I
they did
literally
some
thought it was
favors.
just stuck.
They did some favors in the Fig Fed.
Like LOD, same exact bodies. It was cool to have them because you just needed bodies for your Fig Fed.
Yeah, I like
But
that
yeah.
the bodies, yeah.
But like we just said, you had Bradshaw, just like Bradshaw, for only a couple months.
But he did change his look.
I know. So it's
Completely.
like that figure is kind of wasted. You can't use him as a different character.
No.
So what do you do? Like, do you have like Bradshaw stay Justin Hawk Bradshaw and Wyndham comes in as a solo and then he convinces
I had
Justin
to
Hawk?
retire. I had to retire Justin Hawk.
I forgot what I did to make it make sense.
I know for a
storyline
fact
wise.
that I retired Justin Hawk for sure, which is sad. And now looking back on it, but
Cool figures.
I also never realized the little details are different. Like the vest has like silver deco hits.
yeah, they do.
They have the same chaps, but make no sense because it only goes across on one, but the other one doesn't have it. And then one has the belt buckle on the butt, and the other one doesn't.
I just realized that now, so it's not identical.
Yeah, not really identical, but still
That's a-
cool. I thought it was cool to get a Barry Windham. You know?
I'm today's years old when you mentioned those little details on the crotches.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, Barry Windham's. Has he had a figure
A Galoob.
a Galoo before? Okay, yeah, he has Galoos before.
Yeah.
He has this, and then he doesn't have figures till what? Classic Superstars.
True.
Wow. Up next, unbelievable.
Awesome.
Mosh.
Iconic. Literally are the tag team champions right as these come out.
Just about
Right?
pretty close, right?
Yeah.
They went at like round 0 or something.
Yeah, 97. That's September, October 97.
I love the detailed shirts and skirts, obviously.
Yeah.
Too much hair, though, obviously. We've talked about
Well,
that.
yeah, we've talked about that.
It's supposed to be like a
Buzz.
a buzz, like
Yeah.
like the. I absolutely love these figures when they came out. They're removable. They're not removable skirts, but like they can still move.
They did it perfectly.
It's absolutely perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
They can still do like all their signature moves.
Because of that little slit on the one leg, you can easily kick with it and
Yeah, you can
leg
You do
drop.
like the
and all
legs
that.
drop,
Yeah,
stage
anything.
dive.
I love
thing.
that the detail that like their underwears are underneath like decoed out.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Such great figures. Similar bodies. Thrasher has the painted on elbow pads. They got the
So fun.
Man, these are so fucking good.
So fun, yeah.
I gotta display these. So good. And we're buddies with the Headbangers. Great guys. So I'm happy.
Former
that they-
FWF champions.
They are former FWF
that's
Tag Team
true.
champions. So Masha Thrasher, the Headbangers, they make a bunch of releases of the Headbangers.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that they made the Headbangers. It's crazy they made any of these guys, especially this next set.
These I think Godwins are my hands down favorites. These sets.
You think it's crazy that they made the
They're
Godwins? I
so-
think it's
They're so good.
yeah. They were man. The slop that comes with the bucket.
Godwins had a hell of a 96. They were pretty over. So,
Yeah.
it makes sense that they got a figure in 97, but these figures are perfect.
Yeah, the sizes of
So
their
good.
arms, man.
Yeah,
You can make them
really
heels
fun.
or baby faces.
Two
It's very fun.
accessories. Really awesome.
Yeah, so horseshoe and
They're like
chain
they got
from
like little
Phineas.
bellies on them. I appreciate.
Yep.
Yeah, man, so fun.
Man, I'm looking at him right now. This Phineas is incredible.
These ones I didn't mind that their hats didn't come off.
Yeah,
that's
for whatever
fine.
reason. Yeah, for whatever reason. Yeah, I accepted that too.
It would have been cool, but not necessary.
They're already kind of in street clothes anyway, so like the hat makes sense. It's weird when somebody's got like wrestling a singlet but then a hat, right?
Yeah, and then just like you said, that's literally the hat that Undertaker had. So and it came off on Series 1. So why we're
Yeah.
deep into the line here, we go backwards, and you can't even rip it off because it's got this weird molded like bowl cut.
Yep.
So it's like it's crazy.
So I'm looking at him now. Same bodies, different arms, different heads, obviously. But great Great set.
So good. Game like
In the back of the
just
box there, you see the
Think
tag
about
team
that.
series.
In one set, you just got, if you're not really counting Bradshaw, but you got 8 new guys.
Yep.
That's
Nuts.
just these past couple of months alone. The amount of new characters you get is unbelievable. So much new stuff, and it's really just like we keep saying adding to your fig fed,
But-
but it does.
By the way, that quote I opened up with, I believe is from Mick Foley's first book or something, when he said that he got Dewey the new blackjacks for Christmas, and he opened them, and then he had like a tear in his eye and said, "But Dad, doesn't Santa know I hate the new blackjacks?"
So here on the back, we get a little sneak peek of the Superstar Series 5.
Let's go.
Well, up next we're gonna go to the ring, right? The Monster Ring, kind of re-released at this time in Canada only.
This one. I didn't really know this was a thing until we did our
So
research.
Bret Hitman Hart is not. He's just on the package,
Just for
So-
selling purposes.
It's perfect. In Canada, put Bret Hart in the box.
Yes, of course.
Great
I
marketing.
didn't get this. There's really no reason for me
I
to
don't even
get
think
this.
I knew it existed.
It's pretty cool,
But clearly it came out later with all the stuff on the back.
right?
And
I
then,
was about to-
so on the back, Superstar Series 5, Bad Boys, the tag team. And then the Vince
But-
McMahon and Sonny.
Can we also mention Bret Hart? Long fucking gone.
Not long gone.
No.
No, he leaves at the end of 97.
yeah.
Oh,
We're talking about
I'm sorry.
97.
My timetable's messed up. He's not gone. He's
You're,
not,
you're long.
guys,
Your brain's long gone, pal.
yeah, my brain's long gone. He's not gone yet. Sorry, guys. I
was like,
thought
where's he
he
going
just
with
got,
this?
I thought he just got screwed at Survivor Series.
not
He's
yet.
about
Not yet.
he's about to get screwed
He's
at Survivor
about to,
Series.
yeah.
He's about to get screwed. So cool ring, but really no reason to get it. But maybe the Canadians didn't have a ring before. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a way to re-release. Who knows? Next up, though, is Superstars Series 5.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Flash. You are so funky.
I feel like it's just coming fast now, right?
Oh,
the
I love
new
because
guys,
it's
right?
cooking. The Alliance
Yeah.
making money. Wrestling's
Yeah.
hot.
The hat comes off. This guy is perfect.
Flash Funk was one of my favorite. I mean, obviously a mid-card act, but he got way bigger push in the Brian Myers Fig Fed than he did on TV because it's just so fun and so awesome. Obviously, I knew he was Too Cold Scorpio too, so he has some street cred
Right.
with me.
Once I started watching ECW in '98, I went back and started using this Flash Funk. Way better, right?
So awesome.
It's such a great figure. Now, let's put this into perspective. So this comes out like fall of 97. He debuts at Survivor Series 96.
96.
So even if they have like reference shots, it takes about a year, which is pretty fast.
There's a crazier one in this line.
Well, okay, who are you going to say? I was going to go back for a second. Mankind, who comes out in January of 97, which means he probably came out even earlier. He
He's
debuts in like
April-
March.
he's
March or April.
96, yeah.
That's a nuts one.
But this line alone, Shamrock.
It's true.
Shamrock's WrestleMania 13. He's not in gear. He's a ref.
Oh my God,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And that's March.
Yeah. Wow.
Holy shit.
That is crazy.
I didn't even think about that.
That is crazy. Yeah.
Wow. So who are we talking about next? We talk about Shamrock next? Who we talk? Oh, Savio
Savio Vega.
Vega. Great figure.
Much needed.
Much needed. Now you have the Nation of Domination. You have Farouk. You have Crush. You have Clarence. And now you have Savio Vega.
Perfect.
I love it.
Not that easy to play with, but good to have.
He has the weird Sultan legs as
Well,
well.
he does the V. But like we said, he can do some cool Savio kicks. So there's a compromise there.
Yep. The spinning
I
heel
love
kick
it.
for sure. That was his finish, wasn't it? At one point, the
Yeah,
spinning heel
I think
kick.
so, right?
I have a question. Does yours have like the Nation hat on it? Like, is the Nation logo
man.
painted on it?
No.
Okay, so it's just a plain black?
Yeah.
Okay. Great figure. The likeness is good. Has the SV.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this figure for sure. Guys, we got to talk about
Big
it.
time. Because he's just back on TV. He's kind of just become The Rock. This was a big deal.
Rocky Maivia.
Obviously, when this is designed, it's based off babyface Rocky Maivia
Literally his
debuting.
debut.
Survivor Series.
Survivor
96.
Series 96, Intercontinental Champion, Rocky. I love it. The prototype was a lot better because he's doing his like pose, but that's fine.
he's flexed,
He's
yeah.
at the Rock calf boots, which doesn't make sense because they don't include it later on in the line when they've clearly made it, which I don't understand.
Okay.
But I love it. I just love everything about it. Like you get Rocky Maivia, who's like you said,
The
now,
likeness is actually better than I remember too.
It's
like
not
a young,
bad.
a young Dwayne.
This was the only Rock that I had for so long. So long.
not
But he
quite
was the Rock. It didn't matter.
dark enough in the skin tone department.
Definitely
Probably
not.
It's got like a grayish
Yeah.
tone to it, actually.
What about this next figure in the line, like we just talked about, the world's
That is a
most
turnaround.
dangerous man?
It's an insane turnaround.
Insane turnaround.
Great
Ken
timing, though,
Shamrock-
too, because by the end of the year, he's main eventing pay-per-views.
And he's got Stone Cold's body except the kick pads, right? The legs.
Yes. New legs, has the kick pads, the shamrock. Not jacked enough at all.
Yeah. No
Likeness is not bad.
Not
It's
great.
not terrible,
either,
but it's not great.
though. Not great either, though.
But yeah, I mean, think about the time that it took to get him out. That's like record time.
Yeah. It's
That
wild.
might be the quickest in toy history.
Isn't Big Show the proven one? But
We gotta do some research. This is pretty
Yeah.
close.
it's
I love
definitely
the
fast.
Shamrock. Next up, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. Again, listen,
Straight re-release.
he's the hottest guy when this
He should
comes
be in
out.
every set. He should be in every set coming out.
Yeah, it
Period.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
I really wish
Period.
they would have taken the stars off the boots or something.
I
Yeah.
can't believe never ever. And that figure must have been released 25 times.
And,
Also,
like,
very easy. Just paint over it. I mean, like they just paint
Just know
over
it's a
it.
deco hit. You don't,
Don't
have to do
include
it.
it.
It costs,
Exactly.
It costs less money. Like,
True.
It's crazy.
and all the advertising ads, it's like Austin, and then it shows the other figures. Like they know it's Austin.
Yeah.
It's Austin. And then this was a weird one. You get Psycho Sid finally in the black.
But this was great. Yeah, thank God.
But he's gone.
He's gone.
Right.
I know that's the. I mean, I'm pumped to have him like to look like this, like top guy champion, but too little, too late.
He is gone. And
But much better. I mean,
so back to that Rocky Maivia, Just Toys Bendham's Rocky Maivia just beats this out. So it's the first, real toy, but the Bendham's Rocky Maivia comes out first. So
Got it.
Just Toys just beat out Jakks Pacific.
Wow.
But great set. Great
Yep.
set. Your Fig Fed is just loaded. It's loaded now. And it's about to get even more fully loaded with Ringside Collection series.
Now you got a women's division.
I know you want me. Sunny, the most downloaded woman in AOL history.
Right.
Obviously, you need her.
Like I said, the storylines you can do now, you have two women, you can have them wrestle even though they were plastic figures and it was impossible, or they can have a little feud with the people they manage or whatever. It was cool stuff that you could do for sure.
But what's cool about Sunny is like at this point she is just like a ringside person. She's not
is, right?
quite managing
Backstage
anybody.
interviewer.
Yeah, so it's like, how are you going to use her? Like, you could be creative. You could have some sunny days. She could be Brett and Sean could be feuding over her.
Well, you
Whatever
can shoot
wanna
a
do.
Super Soaker commercial in the back,
sure.
that kind of stuff.
It was weird. Like her skirt is like
really hard plastic?
it could be removable though.
It's not. Yeah, it's another piece, but
It's another piece, is what I mean.
yeah, you can't like
it's
slide
not
it off
molded.
and on. Yeah,
But she can. Her legs move.
Yeah,
Which
better
is cool.
than Sable. Yeah, for
What,
sure.
what do you mean better than Sable? Sable doesn't
Sable-
move.
Yeah, it's a little statue.
Sable doesn't move.
Yeah.
And the Sable is a straight up. Let's go to Vince McMahon here.
oh,
Yeah.
very
Vince McMahon.
controversial.
This was an incredible figure. I love it. My problem with it, he can't bend his knees.
Yeah, you want him to sit and.
So,
I
like,
mean,
later-
I like that he could stand and do an interview with somebody or whatever. But
Yes.
so
Vince McMahon.
both versions here, which hard to see, the gray and the not gray.
I don't recall the gray being a variant in Ringside Collection, though.
I thought it was Ringside Collection.
No, the Raw's War.
Mm,
I mean,
I think
definitely
it's-
Raw's War. So,
I mean, what you're holding
that-
looks pretty similar, Ryan.
okay,
I
no.
don't
Well,
know.
this one has the gray.
Got
and
it,
that
got
one
it.
has the jet black. And the rumor always was that Vince didn't like the gray and had it changed.
But I
course.
thought that was for the Raw's War.
I think it happened in this line, and then obviously Raw's War was always going to be black because it was changed.
Well, no, the Raw's War is the one that has the variant.
It's not a. This was a running change.
Okay.
Is what
I
I'm
see you're
telling
saying.
you.
Okay.
So obviously, the Raw's War is never going to be gray because it's down. It's all black.
No, but
now.
that's where you're wrong. The Raw's War has the different ones. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
D Freedom was laughing. Should we ask him what's going on with this?
I don't think so.
He can tell us.
D Freedom, pop in.
D. Do you know what the deal is?
Yeah, it's Raw's War.
I don't think I lived this. Like I don't.
Bro,
think so.
I have them all. I have them to this day, organized.
I just don't. That's not how my memory recalls it. Like in my childhood.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're not right.
Well, D has made a ruling, and
He wasn't even born yet, so I'm not taking his opinion on it. But
So my Vince McMahon ringside collection is just black hair.
okay, but I'm saying I have both because I remember there was both.
I think you're wrong, pal.
I'm throwing it out there.
All right, but anyway, you got Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You got
It is a
Vince
big deal.
McMahon. It's a huge deal, and of course, you have Sable in the red. It's cool. It's like,
Yeah.
It's better that it's different.
oh, thank God they made her a little different. Cool figure, I guess.
And
It's-
Sable's getting over as hell too. at this
Sable
time,
is so over. It's unfortunate, though. I mean, we're not going to get deep into it. That there's never like a great Sable.
There's not. Yeah.
There's never a great Sable.
True.
Definitely not. Yeah.
But this next figure is great. The referee.
The referee.
Harvey Whippleman.
We've talked about this a lot in the history of our podcast because there's so much weird stuff to this.
The figure is unbelievable. I bought many of these. I got many of these so many times. Like, it's a ref. Like, you need a ref. And you buy multiple refs for ref bunts where Ken Shamrock go, get out of my way. Give him the belly-to-belly suplexes.
So it's
You need
clearly like
this.
a generic ref that's not supposed to be anyone. But the watch is super weird. And only Harvey Whippleman wore the watch.
Only Harvey wore the watch.
And Harvey Whippleman is on the box, which is super strange as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
We
We'll
don't
never
know
know.
what's going on. Yeah, I think we asked Harvey once, and
looking back on it, like, why is that fist closed? Like, why is that not an open hand to make some counts?
I like that he's doing the two.
The two. is
Two,
awesome.
and his mouth is
Yeah.
literally saying the
Yeah.
two.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
It's very toyetic, but there's a lot of head scratchy decisions from it too.
So the
So-
ringside collection, that was pretty cool.
It's unfortunate because Ringside Collection, tag teams, and managers is something, in my opinion, should have stuck the whole time. Ringside gets one more set, but managers and tag teams are done. They get
If you think about
merged
it, though,
together.
It's not easy to sustain because it's not like television is rolling out new managers and tag teams and ringside people nonstop. You know, does that make sense?
I'd argue that they definitely Ringside.
Maybe a once a year thing.
Yeah, I think they could have done it. I think they definitely could have done it. So it is the first assortment that no figure in the line has bone crunching action, which is very important.
Well, also that too.
But they're all in scale. It's fine.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's fine.
Perfect scale.
Let's talk about what I think might be the best
This is the greatest thing of all time.
four-pack of all time.
One of the coolest things in toy history. I'm surprised it's not a Hall of Fame thing. I don't even know if that's possible if with our Hall of Fame.
You
But
know what? We should put it in.
championship
European
title
Champion.
series.
European women.
Championship title series, Undertaker, Rock, Bulldog, and Owen. Now you fucking need this. Let's pretend there's no
Dude.
titles.
No, the
For
belts.
seconds.
The belts, dude. Come on.
First of all, the belts are incredible. Hasbro, think about this. Hasbro had, let's even go backwards. LJN. You get tag team, you get the world, no IC.
Yeah.
Hasbro, you get the world, no IC, no tag. First time ever, you're getting the Intercontinental title. Think about that. You're getting the tag team titles for the first time. European title is brand new. You're getting it. The
Which is
Winged
nuts.
Eagle. And then they secretly hid that other tag team title.
Which I remember being like, whoa. Like, because I just kind of assumed, okay, I guess it's not in there, you know?
It's hidden under that limited collector's edition flap, which I really like. Undertaker in the new mold of how he should look. He's got
Yep.
the title. Rocky Maivia repaint in the black, but now he's got his entrance gear. And Bulldog and Owen repainted. But like Brian said, European championship.
European mama boots.
There- little error here. But then, guys, there's a running change variant. I got it right here. where European is correct, and the titles are more brighter. The initial run, the colors were kind of dull. The gold was kind of dull.
Right.
But in the updated version, they're a little brighter. And man, what an iconic
Which
piece!
I never knew that as a kid, and I only like the ones I have. The belts are so dull and
Right.
barely pop. That's
So this
definitely what I
Owen
had.
has like the 2-time Slammy Award winner. Bulldog, way more toyetic, has like the blue and red trunks, the Rocky and the black. Undertaker, incredible line. The back, shows them all with their titles. Undertaker, Intercontinental title with The Rock. Bulldog European. Look, there's Clarence Mason with Owen and Bulldog. But yeah, Owen here should have short hair. He should have short hair.
Oh
He
yeah,
does not.
definitely, for sure.
What a great set. One figure that I wish, now I'm looking at the back of this package, when Undertaker wins the world title, he's wearing like his
gray.
Series 1 gear, but in gray.
They could have done that at some point.
I always heard there was like a rumor of a gray Undertaker and a purple Undertaker 2-pack, but obviously it wasn't true.
Right.
I think that would
I
have been
also
cool.
always despised that little puny Undertaker figure that's in there. It's just not good.
Oh, in this
that set,
release.
yeah.
Which they release a bunch of times.
A million times. But it was exciting at the time to get a new Undertaker, but still,
It's
it was like,
the new gear, right? The
it was like,
updated.
ugh.
Like,
I'll never forget
cruiserweight.
finding this at a Toys R Us. Remember, like Toys R Us back in the day, like the overstock would be on top of the shelves. You had to get someone to
course.
get it down.
That's the spot.
Yeah. So I got someone to get it down.
but talking about the belts, I used to cut a little piece of felt, and then I would glue a penny or a quarter or whatever to the belt.
Man.
With little pieces, and then we used Velcro pieces glued, and then it would.
Game changing. to have
Right now,
all
you got
those
real belts.
Fine
However,
belts.
I will say, a little small.
in
little bit.
retrospect, yeah, but dude,
Oh, I didn't give a shit.
I'm so excited about this pack. I didn't even know they spelled European wrong on it till I was
Kidding me?
37. So yeah, no, like
I also used these belts with the Hasbro Fig Fed that we were still doing, and it fit perfect.
that probably fit perfect, right?
Yeah, it was great.
The next, and I believe this was a Toys R Us exclusive, and
Yeah,
I
it
think
was,
this was a
definitely.
Toys R Us exclusive as well. Maybe not, but
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
actually, I'm pretty sure it was. It's a Nation of Domination
It was, yes.
collector set. All re-releases, but a great way to get them all in one shot. So
Yeah.
Clarence Mason, Farouk, Crush, Savio Vega. Like, what's just so unfortunate? Like, imagine like getting this signed by everybody.
Right. Paint pen on the glass with it by everybody.
Oh man,
Hard to find Clarence Mason nowadays. Doesn't really do signings.
That'd be a good one.
Man,
That'd be a good
what a-
encyclopedia guy to get signed.
Yeah.
What a great 4-pack. I did not buy this because I had them all.
Right.
Same.
That's
That's one where I stare at it and I stare at it. I can't justify anything to annoy my mom enough to make me get it.
So you want to hear my psycho on this? Like, can we go back to the Nation for a second?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a Nation of Domination set, right? Because
Right.
hear me out here. If in my toy room I display everything, I would
Yeah.
need to display this
Why?
as the Nation.
Because you'd want them in sets and not.
I would do it separately. I would do them how they came, and then I would do the Nation 4-pack.
But that's
You know?
just 4 figures that are the exact same on display. Like that's so
I
silly.
know, but they look nice together.
Of course, but
You would keep it in the box? Like, I
No,
can
would
see it
loose,
in the back.
Let them breathe.
I mean, some of these are so cool. Like, you could keep them in the back in this set and, like, have it be the backer of the display, right?
I guess in theory you could.
Yeah.
But the next set is an incredible set. One that I did not have for such a long time.
Really?
King. Yeah, because I want to explain. We got to get into this. King of the Iron Rungs. Okay. Bret Hitman Hart. No sunglasses, which is huge.
Yeah. Right.
Alternate gear. The first ever Austin 316 t-shirt and jeans.
bro, you're so over. They have to make street gear clothes of you.
Ahmed Johnson.
Process that.
Re-release. Referee re-release. And for the first time ever, the Home Depot ladder.
Man,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the ladder is great. Up until
very
this
easy
point,
to identify a King of the Iron Rungs Stone Cold too, because how little the Austin 316
The Austin
is.
316 is blows, yeah. Me and Broski were both wearing that shirt, and it
That's right.
fits the entire chest. That is like a tiny little whatever. That was a mess
If
up.
you're ever on the hunt, that's how you figure it out. Very easy.
Up until
Also-
this point, I'm using a He-Man ladder from the Castle Grayskull for my ladder matches.
No smoking skull
No smoke,
on the
yeah.
smoking skull. No smoke. But yeah, what an iconic figure. I did not have this. This was a Target exclusive.
Which Targets
And-
didn't exist on East Coast at this point.
So how did you get this?
So this might be the first like eBay thing. Like my mom made an eBay account and had to get, or we like contacted like a friend that lived like in another state and put them on the hunt. But I
Yeah, so
got it for Christmas for sure.
The Brett was cool. The Brett is later re-released, so I didn't need it. But the Austin, like I didn't have this Austin for so long, and like, bro, a ladder, and I say Home Depot ladder because look, like you can only climb the one side. You
It's
know,
crazy because it's like now it's so bad.
At
But in
the time was
1997,
revolutionary.
it's like the most exciting thing imaginable, right?
Oh, my God.
That you can do that.
Just close your. I have goosebumps right now. Again, second time this episode. What I would do is I would take like a piece of yarn, string, dental floss. I'd tape it to the ceiling,
Yeah,
tie a little loop, put the title on it, and have ladder matches.
man. So awesome.
Unbelievable.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Man, Fig Feds were the best, bro. Were the best. And the Bret Hart on this is way more detailed. He's got a lot of cool deco on the side. He's got the no glasses, which I appreciate. But you know what I didn't like about this, Brett, is that the hair doesn't quite fit the back. So there's that gap.
Oh, you know, I don't remember that. Wow.
Is
Yeah,
that
never
on all
noticed.
of them or just mine? Do you have one around, Brian?
So I have the best of that's going to come up, which is very similar.
But the vest is on, so you won't be able to tell.
But yeah, it's the same. It like doesn't fit. You're right. But I can
Wow.
peel the vest back.
Way more toyetic with the deco. And they're really getting these Bret Harts out before he's long
It's over.
gone.
It's over.
Before he's long gone. What about this next set?
All these sets are so cool and timely and awesome and unique, but and this is so cool.
This
Bro.
is a top shelf Troy trivia fact because the Executioner, the late great Terry Bam Bam Gordy, not a lot of WWF television time
Yes.
to deserve this, which is nuts.
Yeah. But also very iconic, like unique storyline and match and situation and all that. But super cool. You get the Executioner for the first time,
Only time.
only time.
Only time.
Super cool, right?
He's got,
and then
he's
the
got an
shovel.
axe.
Yeah.
Look at this axe on the Executioner right here, Mark. It's an incredible figure. One that I did not have again because I didn't have a target.
Look at mine's like played with. Look at that.
Oh, what? It's such a great figure, though, man.
So unique.
Executioner.
Like I could barely remember anything about this run.
Oh, I remember this match.
He helped shovel.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can remember.
Now, the Undertaker is just like the 4-pack, except he has this giant like cape thing,
Rubber cape, like a
which,
Batman
is
figure.
really cool.
Pretty cool.
Really,
That
really cool.
definitely was cool to have, like similar to what I said earlier in the show with the glow in the dark one. It would be your entrance taker. Clearly, that's what this would be.
And Paul Bearer and Mankind are straight up
Ray releases, yeah.
re-releases. For some reason, in this Ziploc bag I have here, I have 2 Undertakers and 2 Executioners. And I don't know why.
Oh my god.
I wonder if there's some weird variant
Oh
or
my
something.
god.
Why do I
you've
have this?
literally made up variants for these figures.
I honestly I can't think of why I have those. There must be a reason, but I don't know what it is. So, all right then.
Sounds
Yep.
great.
Comes with the shovel, the tombstone for the first time, which is really cool.
Oh,
You
it's
can do
great.
a buried alive match.
Yeah.
And same thing. This was a Target exclusive, so I definitely pulled some strings. Or I want to say I made. It's the dawning of eBay. Like I had my mom make an account, and I figured out that's like I had internet at this time, and I knew how to finagle things like that.
Let's talk about this Raw's War 4-pack so me and Brian can fight over it. This was a 4-pack. BJ's wholesale exclusive. Bro, I found this there was like the store by my house called Videotronics, and they were carrying them, so I had to pick this up. It's Sunny in pink, that Bret Hart from the King of Iron Rungs, Sid in purple trunks, which makes no sense.
Which, if you like, you can scratch that purple off with your fingernail.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
It's so weird.
And then the Vince McMahon with the black and the gray. This is where the black and the gray come, Brian. I'm sorry, you're incorrect.
So wait, is Vince in ringside too?
Vince is in ringside too.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
See, what right there is the picture of the gray and the.
Which I just showed him up in real life, and like, I mean, I have like all these lights on here. It's hard to tell even, which is so funny that he like wanted them changed because like,
Yeah,
it's so hard to even tell.
And like what's also crazy, it's not just, and this is like psycho stuff right here. And like I don't even know if everyone's going to count it or if I should count it. But Vince is not the only one different in the packs. Like for instance, like look at these two. I'm not going to take them out of the bags here.
What?
Like one is like a pink and one is more of like a purplish.
Oh my God! Come on.
Well,
This Sunny,
and then
I think, is way better and more toyetic too. but-
I do as well.
Yeah.
And then the Sid has like a brighter purple, but it's the same thing.
The Sid is one of the weirdest figures ever. Like I said,
It's crazy how they decide to.
It's like it's done like grapplers and gimmick style. You can scratch the paint off the fingernail. Like it's like baffling. I don't
Can't
know
go 3 hours without bringing
Yeah,
up.
I had to get some
kind of-
shit.
This was kind of a head scratcher of a set. It's like just a weird random. Well, not this one. This one was one of the greatest sets ever. But let's talk about it right here. The triple threat.
The goddamn chair.
Ahmed Johnson, Wild Man.
How did Ahmed
Mark
sneak in
Merrill.
all these sets? His push is
Right?
like long over.
Ahmed Johnson, Wild Man Mark Merrow, and the mighty Yokozuna.
Talk about, we were making fun of that. Those 2-packs that made no sense. There's no logical reason that these three are in this set.
Not at
Like,
all.
Not at all.
nothing.
A KB exclusive, bro. To get
chairs.
this Yoko.
2 chairs.
But the Yoko's cool because of the beard and
Dude,
the chair.
Yoko
right?
is one of the greatest figures of all time to this day.
Oh,
but he's
do
also-
do do do.
Oh my God.
He's also like long gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's,
Maybe under contract still, but not
Yes.
an on-air talent for sure.
I mean, think about this. This is the end of 97. So just think about the fact like people are getting this in like 1998, you know, early 98. Yoko's gone, pal.
He leaves in 98 for sure because he does like international stuff and
It's
things
just
like
a great figure. The legs are all plastic, but it still works.
Oh,
You
My
see
God,
the
great
rubber
bonsai
arms.
drop on it.
the girth of it alone, and it's so good.
As you know, Brian and I, in our FWF Fig Feds, loved this figure so much that we really shoved him to the moon, right?
But that was true to form in my like 1997 Brian Myers Fed. Like I'm like, this
Right.
figure rules.
Finally getting steel chairs. I don't have to use my fucking WWF stands anymore. We have steel chairs. They actually fold. They can like come apart if you hit the guy. It's like, thank God.
Man,
It's unbelievable. Like kids these days, they're used to all this stuff.
spoiled.
It's
They don't
spoiled.
know. They don't know how what a big deal that was, man.
Wild Man in the red. A
is
lot
cool.
more toyetic.
Yeah.
I like it. Great set. I got this for Christmas as well. It's your Fig Fed. I keep saying this, but now it's a real promotion.
So it's a world.
It's a world. And as a kid, it just changes everything because it just my life was consumed by not only collecting these figures, but playing with them as well. So 1997 was a great year, so much so that there's
They
the
had to be
best.
celebrated. It was such a great year.
The best of 1997. Now that's up for debate. I think after this, Brian, I want a fantasy book of best of 1997 with you.
If we're doing actual best figure, this is just top guys of 1997.
Well, this is what's weird about it. So first we have Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
Next up, Mark, we have the British Bulldog, which now Brett, Owen, and Bulldog, they have added these Heart Foundation like vests. Like Bulldog, it's accurate. There's the Undertaker as well, Ahmed Johnson, and Bret Hitman Hart. So great figures. I got these at Walmart. I was like, I need these. The Bret is weird because it's like a Series 1 Bret. with no glasses and this added vest.
Right.
Brett and Owen, right? Brett and Owen should have jackets, but they're not going to do jackets.
Never wore vests, if we're getting technical.
These vests technically come off, but it's like, oh, you better be very careful taking them on and off.
I think this is great because
These are my original childhood ones. I've never taken the vests off because of fear.
Out of fear. I like
right,
that.
but you have other versions you can play with if you needed to.
Yeah, I
And
didn't need to like add these guys into my fed.
Broski found a lot of variants with this.
because
with the,
there's Bret Hart where it says Hitman on top.
which is so weird.
Hitman, Hart Foundation. I mean, I don't even know if I knew that as a kid. It wasn't until I was rebuying.
Yeah, no way.
So Best of 97 is a great set. There's actually Best of 97 Series 2, but that comes out in 98, so we'll cover that. We'll cover that next year, pal. What do you think should have been the Best of 97?
Man,
I think when you think of 97s, you got to have a Stone Cold. I think Bret Hart as a bad guy, which is the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart,
honestly,
right?
I feel like it's fine.
That's boom right there. I mean, if you think 97, you think Stone Cold versus the Hart Foundation, right? Canadian
the
Stampede.
figures I'm going to pick are all mid-carders or less that they're not going to put,
So I guess maybe they're not saying
Phineas
it's
Godwin. You know what I mean? Like,
well, okay, so I guess they're
Not
not
gonna
saying
work.
it's the best figures in 97, but the best guys.
Yeah.
Because certainly it can't be the
think
best
they got
figures.
it then.
Because that Undertaker, this is something to point out. That's a Series 1 Undertaker. So now you have Undertaker with the peg hole, tighter joints.
yeah.
But that doesn't come out in 97,
Interesting.
you know?
It's like today's top picks.
I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Making sales, catching people up who are just getting in on the wrestling boom. It makes perfect sense to me.
All right.
All right. So this is an interesting series, and I
This is what I like
kind
to
of
call a cash grab.
Which
kind of hated it.
I have as a kid, I hated this because they had the signatures on them. I'm like, I can't play with these. It doesn't
Signature
make any sense.
series is what it's
Well,
called.
hold on. Let's just say this. You look at first. This is a horrible example to show first because the Goldust is brand new.
Well, yeah, but that bothered me too, though, because I want to play with this Goldust because it's so much cooler. But he's got an autograph on his leg, and I'm like a snob about it.
So for me, this was my first Austin
Wow, what a loser!
because I didn't have King of the Iron Rungs. But
Better shirt though.
Because
Better
Bob
shirt.
had no eBay or no walking around money, and that's what happened.
way
to you.
better shirt though on that Austin 316 though. Way
Yep.
better shirt.
Way better, way bigger. Oh my god,
I was okay with the ones that had the signature on the gear.
I couldn't. I couldn't.
Mankind.
I couldn't, I can't play with this Mankind with it, but I got them all because I'm a psychopath.
I got them all as well. LOD, Hawk and Animal. Now keep in mind the stands are now gold instead of like that silver.
Mm-hmm.
And Hunter, Hurst, Helmsley.
This is a set that I wish I got this whole set signed or something, because it would look beautiful now. But this is
a
through
signature series sign.
this is through my 38-year-old eyes, not my 12-year-old eyes. So I'm like, damn, I appreciate them now. When I was a kid, I was like, come on with this.
And on the back, it shows the Stomp figures. We will talk about Stomp coming up next. But listen, I love the Austin. I love the Goldust. I needed those. I didn't need the others.
Like I said, it's something I would just get because I was a lunatic. I wanted everything, but it meant nothing to my collection.
Little cash grab is like we like to say.
And the funny thing is, for people who don't know, those went on for years and years and years. Signature series, not just
The worst one was the Billy Gunn. I remember with the signature on the calf.
Skin, on the skin.
Because it's like, what did you get a tattoo?
Yeah.
It's like I can kind of deal with the
Can't
idea that you
justify it,
drew on your
yeah.
pants.
Right.
right. I see what you're saying, Mark.
Yeah,
But at least later down the line, they switched up the signature series and gave them new gear.
right.
I've weirdly always loved the art on this repackaged
Yes.
or re-released Raw is War Monstering, and it was
Yes,
now
but I
black. It was made with black plastic.
Did not like this ring.
What?
I did not like this ring
You're
because
insane.
they didn't have a black canvas.
I
Yeah,
loved
but
it.
it was just so different and popped
Yeah, I didn't like it.
And then I would switch back and forth. Okay, this is my Raw show. This is my pay-per-views are done in the other ring. I loved it.
In a world with you guys who always complain about fantasy stuff, like a black canvas.
I liked it.
NXT
because-
before NXT was cool, man.
I liked it a lot because I was a hard player, so my white ring would get all marked up. This one, you couldn't
That's
see
a
the
good-
marks.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You should have a shirt that says "I was a hard player."
I was a hard player. We'll repackage the major players to the hard players.
Yeah, hard players. All right, up next, guys.
Random,
is this
random special edition there.
This one,
Yokozuna.
this hurt my feelings, man, because like the lengths I went through to get the 3-pack.
Yeah, and this
You know what I mean?
begins. This begins the special edition set that just comes to KB. It starts off with this Yokozuna, and yeah, like Brian said, like you just bought that other Ahmed again. You know, you get
That's
the
what I'm saying,
marrow.
you know, you're shelling out bucks to get that pack, and then this comes like pretty soon after. You're like, oh man, I got played.
The back shows the signature series, the stomp, and the monster ring. I like the special editions. There's very, very little ones you actually have to get. A lot of them are just. I don't want to say
don't we think
re-releases.
some don't have the bone crunching action? Is a big
yeah, they
difference?
don't have the bone crunching action.
But
is the
sometimes you
difference.
get them and they do. I've opened them and they do. So like it's
I
a
don't
mess.
know. Someone like, let me just say, Vintage Jacks BCA. Follow him on
Great
Instagram.
account.
Great account. Has so much knowledge about this. I went to him for a lot of stuff. He has so much knowledge. D Freedom did a lot of research, guys. But like, we love Bone Crunch, but Vintage Jack BCA, he's like obsessed, borderline obsessed. He's a great follow, 100%.
Now, so we're nearing the end of our show here, but we have one sort of banger set, which has become a foundation of this podcast, I would say, from the very beginning.
Can we just play the whole music video right here?
Stomp in Paradise. No, Stomp. Special, tactical, operational, military, police. These figures at the time, I fucking hated.
Yeah.
Fucking hated.
I like
But
them.
I
And so
hated
this was
them.
the conversation, right? Brian, you liked them, right?
A legendary Major Pod year one discussion where these came up.
It literally happened like this. Broski saying, I
Broski
hated
said
them.
his
Brian
piece,
saying,
and then
I
said,
loved them.
I had to have everything. I was just a brat. I was a lunatic. It's OCD. My poor mom put up with it. You know, God bless her. She's the best. So I had to have these. But then I had to justify like owning them. And I made Stomp in Paradise, which is the show that would go on after Raw went off the air, similar to like Thunder in Paradise, but I would use these WWF guys, and it would be like a situational television show that I would do
Right.
outside of
So-
my Fig Fed.
These are in scale with the Bone Crunchers. They're all plastic, no bone crunching action. They have the weapons that snap. The weapons and the go in the hands. They have the accessories that snap on. Let's see who we got in the
pretty
lineup.
violent.
Mark.
Pretty violent looking back on it.
Very
now, like,
violent.
Yeah,
I mean, that is, it's insane.
like
We
that's
have
an
Crush.
insane gun. That
With like
Crush,
a-
by the way, was kind of a big deal to me because he doesn't have the stupid centipede, and at the time he's DOA Crush, and that's the only way to really like have
Okay.
him. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I guess
that
you can.
that's something to point out. So by the time this Crush comes out, or even the first one, he's DOA Crush.
Yes, but he doesn't have that centipede tattoo on his head anymore. He's not Jailbird Crush, so like
Right.
it's kind of
you
like
can, yeah, I mean, you take that the armor off, he can be DOA for sure.
yeah, I mean, it's a weird gear, but yeah.
Now this one is very special.
Brian Pillman.
He just passed away when this figure comes out. Now, this figure is so important because he doesn't have another figure till the next summer.
Yeah, it takes
So
a
you
long time.
have to play with this figure. And luckily, when you strip everything down, you can kind of
It
pretend that
really,
it's ring gear.
it's fine.
It's perfectly fine. He's wearing
past the
tights.
Brian Pillman, yeah.
I used the crap out of this for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Everything comes off. So it's like it's pretty
Clip-on
much
armor, clip-on boots,
Clip-on armor. So you take off the boots.
a
you take
goddamn
off
knife
everything.
that could kill somebody.
You can pretend that's ring gear. Brian
totally
Pillman.
He's got knee pads.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
All the bodies are the exact same.
Right.
I never even thought of that. Yeah, you're right. Wow.
Yeah, they're all exact same.
Ken
So
Shamrock,
wow, I didn't realize that. So you can mix and match both
Oh,
boots
yeah,
and
that's
pieces.
part of the fun too. I would do that with my,
I didn't know that. Yeah,
my
that's cool.
show. Yeah,
It's like
Okay,
Ken
okay.
Shamrock. He's like going to the gym.
Sure. Yeah.
I would use these guys for like backstages or promos too. You know what I mean?
Now, this one
Ahmed-
is a head scratcher because the
Yes.
body is terrible and the hat is very weird. Like, what the
Bro,
hell are you
Why
saying?
does he come with a straw hat and a,
Yeah,
a
this is not
club?
a good one.
It's
not a good
insane.
one.
Brutal.
Yeah.
This one's pretty brutal too.
I
'Cause it's
thought
not
this one
even-
was great.
but it's not
got
even.
a
It's
cool
more
ass
like
axe.
it's more like Masters of the Universe than like Stomp.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're
Right.
saying.
It's a fucking cool ass axe though.
Yeah,
There he
This is iconic.
this is
I
the
still
one,
have this
yeah.
figure.
Oh, hell.
That's the one, yeah.
This is the one right here. This is the iconic. Mark, check this out. I got
Look
it
at
out
those
here.
goddamn weapons, bro.
Oh, hell
The
yeah.
beret.
The
The Stone
beret.
Cold beret.
So
I
cool.
absolutely love it. So fucking cool. So great. What a way to end 1997 with these top figures.
And technically, what we found out, Ringside got these in December, but
like just
Sto-
at the end
store
of 1997.
illegal in January, right?
Yeah, but they're on the back of the boxes of.
Let's blame it on Chinese New Year. And I believe there was a commercial, right, for Stomp,
Is there?
I think. And then there's
I
definitely
don't-
the Headbanger commercial, which we forgot to mention is like another
Oh, yeah.
thing that was like made me so excited to be a fan.
I don't
and
remember a
collector of
Stomp
these.
commercial. But
I feel like it was like mentioned like that it was coming. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm
I think
in
they
my
had
in my brief research
bigger
right here.
plans and aspirations for Stomp than what it was, right?
There was a
Yes.
Stomp 2 commercial, guys. There was a Underwater Siege
It
commercial.
was okay.
Yeah, maybe you're
Definitely
remembering
bigger
that.
plans for Stomp than what happened. But guys, I'm here in my toy room, 38 years old, surrounded by these bone crunchers.
God, so good.
They're all over my floor, all over my desk. I'm fucking loving this. I love these figures. 96, 97 are probably my favorite time as a the product I think is my favorite.
1997, JAKKS Pacific generated 41.9 million in sales. Roughly half of the company's financial growth was attributable to its popular line of WWF action figures, which ranked among the top 5 best-selling action figures sold by Toys R Us across its 700 stores.
And if you watch Toys That Made Us, one of the things that they do is they cover the toys when they were really hot, and that number, that 41.9, is a very high number compared to a lot of the toys that you see on that show.
crazy.
Like that's like Star Wars level.
I mean, JAKKS literally hit the lottery because they grabbed
Guys,
something.
this-
they
okay,
grabbed
so-
something that was rising and just rode
Yes.
it.
I mean, if they're getting 41 million 97, I want to see their 98 numbers.
Number 98, 99 must be disturbing.
True.
Wild.
True.
What a wild time. I love these figures. Man, I'm glad we did 96, 97. We did it. We did them all.
Feels
a
like
lot
a more
more sense.
it was a congruent story that we
Yeah,
just
it made a lot
told.
more sense, and you could literally, instead of being all over the place, you could ride the wave of where we were at the time exactly,
It's perfect.
Yes.
which made me feel pretty damn good, man.
And now I got to put all these figures away. Shit.
Yeah, same. Or I'm going to sit here crisscross applesauce and
Play with them.
see what happens.
Have a little fig fed,
Hey,
baby.
you know what we should do is we should maybe draft these figures and then come up with a fig fed of our own. I think with these figures, and then present the card. I think to each other.
Maybe someone could check that in the archives or something.
Yeah, guys, seriously, guys, check out the Figure Wrestling Federation.
Anywhere you get podcasts,
And
the
grab
entire
our,
season.
Our hot selling bone crunching action T-shirt, one of our best selling shirts of all time, is available in Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah.
Which that was my idea. And Bruce goes, we can't do that. I'm like, who's going to stop us?
But yeah, guys, seriously, what we did was during the pandemic, we booked a federation with figures using bone crunchers, and we have a whole podcast about it. Rebooking the Attitude Era with figures. It's called the Figure Wrestling Federation. Check it out on YouTube. We'll put the link up here. We have a draft. The draft is on YouTube, and then go to the podcast, wherever you get your podcast, and listen to it. You'll have a lot of fun, and maybe we got to bring it back. I don't know.
I think there's ways to bring it back.
You're going to have to pad the low, pal.
I got some ways to bring it back. You guys fade me on those texts, though.
I texted you that I wanted to do it.
Consumed our lives, guys. You'll see.
And I
There's ways
loved
to do
it.
it. My idea.
You know what? When you're sitting home in COVID, fired, you have a lot more time on your hands, believe it or not.
That's very true.
I think there's ways to do it. Maybe we'll do it. Who knows? But for this episode, for this bonus episode, guys, we're out of time.
Oh, Flash, you are so funky.
1, 2, 3. I'll be back, Jack.
Join the community at MajorMarks.com and get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes footage, and become a member of the Major family.
You get bonus episodes on our careers, wrestling figure history, and exclusive interviews with our friends and legends in the business each month.
You also get early access to YouTube videos and, of course, the weekly podcast ad-free and breaking news updates.
Brand new shows featuring
Oh, baby.
and you. Each month, you can interview someone in the wrestling business with the Captain's Log.
Also, buy, sell, and trade in our exclusive Facebook community where people have become friends in real life.
Certain memberships include merch like monthly trading cards and quarterly mystery gifts.
Become a Major Mark and join MajorMarks.com today.